What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Botching on Advantage presents Amnesiacs Anonymous. We are here on Halloween, ready to bring you guys a bunch of fun times and some good story, hopefully, if everything goes well. If you guys didn't if you guys didn't catch us last week, you can check us out on YouTube. We did have to go through and redo the video output. It'll be uploaded to YouTube by the end of the night. It's actually uploading right now, even as we begin this. If you are catching this and you don't quite have the time to stick around with us for the entire time, you can also check out tonight's episode on YouTube on Wednesday. It will be going up around 12 p.m. noon Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for everybody over there on the East Coast. Before we hop on in, I just want to go ahead and give another shout out to our wonderful artist for the campaign. As you can see next to each of our names, you can see our beautiful character arts. Well, I don't have one because I'm not a player, but you can see the beautiful art that was done by Bo Likes Art on Twitter. They have such an incredible talent, and they really just went above and beyond with these characters. They brought them to life more so than I could have ever imagined. So check them out at Bo_likes_art on Twitter. That's Bo_likes_art. And that is also their name on Ko-fi, which is a crowdfunding source for like, what's the best? Do any of you, any of you familiar with Ko-fi?
Nope, never heard of it.
It's basically a cool little funding source for creators of like art and streams and stuff like that. It's really neat, and they do incredible work. So definitely check them out. They take commissions. I know because I commission them for these, and they're also doing a commission for another person that I know already, which is pretty cool. If you guys have not seen the Evil campaign to Kill a God, we are going to be delayed until Tuesday this week. We weren't able to do it yesterday, but we're going to be doing Tuesday and Friday this week, so that's a lot of content in 1 week, so I'm excited about that. Just because of scheduling complications at the beginning of a campaign, it's kind of hard sometimes getting everything figured out. I'm really proud of this group, though, for being able to do it so well. And does anybody have anything else that they would like to say before we hop in?
Nope.
Tried.
I couldn't find gray cat ears. I don't think they make them. And I'm pretty sure this is for a little girl. But it's all that was left at Party City this morning. So.
Well, I'm proud of both of
I
them.
can't even see them.
I'm very proud of both of them. But yeah, no, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into Botching on Advantage presents Amnesiacs Anonymous. So last time, we got introduced to our heroes after they woke up in a field with no memories of who they are or what brought them there or where they were even. Upon waking up, they looked around, they met each other, they learned their race, they engaged with each other, they kind of took a couple of minutes to try and figure out what exactly had brought them there together and if they knew each other. After doing so, they noticed smoke in the distance. They walked off towards the smoke plumes that were rising out, and they came across a city that had been burnt to the ground, burnt to ash, burnt to cinders. Lots of dead bodies everywhere. They did run into one lady who was still holding onto the edge of life, but faded away, saying only that you were supposed to protect us. Very, very tragic moment for Long Fang, our tabaxi over there.
That was rude of you.
You did also meet quite a few guards from a town known as Stagwood, a city that you now know is to the northwest a little ways, further away from the mist-veiled forest that you woke up next to. Dalfin filled you guys in on the notice that Stagwood had received of the town of Meads Run's issues that were coming up, and that they needed help and found some adventurers to help them. You all presume to be those adventurers that were supposed to help them. You did also find out that there are a couple of kids still alive back in Stagwood that were from Meads Run, and you guys sat around, heard a couple children's stories around the campfire, and then proceeded to rest for the night. During the night's rest, Kaithana, you have a dream.
Do I?
You do indeed.
Ah.
I need everyone to go ahead and earbuds out, and then I'll wave at you when it's time to come back.
Great. I need to readjust my lamp, so I'll be a minute. So sorry.
Okay. You're fine. All right, Kaithana. As you fall into a peaceful rest, much more peaceful than the night that you spent on the floor of the forest, the grassy area that you woke up in earlier, you have this dream that feels more like a memory than a dream to you. You see yourself walking through this small room, little children's drawings and stuff around the room, as you would expect from a child's room, and you reach up to the doorknob, you turn it, and you crack the door open a little bit, and you hear some voices coming from outside in the hallway.
She will be well taken care of. We at the church have never seen such a gift from Kytus before. Clearly he is rewarding us for our patronage and our fealty. You must understand what this means for Summerhaven.
And you hear a familiar voice. But she's our daughter. Whatever will we do? We can't just give her up. I know she's different from us, but that's no reason to just give her over to the church.
Do you know how to care for a dragon?
There's silence for a second.
I didn't think so. We can take care of her, we can nurture her. You will still be able to visit her. But she will be well taken care of. With us.
You hear a slight sobbing. You feel this kind of uneasiness inside of yourself that you're not sure what's going to happen next. And you just hear that same familiar voice. You're right. I hate it, but you're right. And that's where you're going to wake up.
I have questions.
That one was much longer than the last one.
You don't have to answer it. So I didn't see who was talking. I just heard
Nope.
it.
You did not see who was talking, but you do recognize the one of the voices from your previous memory.
Same guy, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Lockdown, you also have a moment, my friend.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Go ahead and
Excellent.
mute, and then I'll wave whenever I bring you back. As you're sitting there by the fire while your friends are resting, and you're just sitting there with a stick poking at the fire, not really feeling the need to rest, not really feeling the need to relax or wind down for the day, all of a sudden you hear this voice inside of your head. Data restoration partially complete. New data. Would you like to observe?
Affirmative.
As you say that, the vision of the campfire and the rest of the camp and the tents and stuff just blurs out and then fades to black. All of a sudden, this vision loads up of you looking at the stars, but they're not the same stars that you see in the night as you were looking around. They're a little bit different, and there's lights coming from around you, torch lights. And as you kind of sit up, you see what appears to be a junkyard. A bunch of metal bits and different things thrown into the wayside. You look around and you see some other pieces of what appear to be robots such as yourself underneath you. You feel almost this sense of panic, which is not something that you're used to. But as you look around, you see a fence that you can climb up. And you do. You climb over the fence, and you're in this large city expanse. You start making your way out through the shadows. You're looking, you see some people walking around, but you back off from them because you're not used to them. You feel like this isn't something that you've seen before. And you eventually make your way to the walls of the city that you were in. And you sneak out and rush off into the woods. That is all we were able to recover at the moment. We will continue our processes in recovery. And that's when you come back to the campfire. So, during the night, you have your vision locked down. Everyone kind of wakes up at a slower pace than you did with the previous night, because you kind of woke up abruptly from having these memories, and it was a good restful night. You guys feel very well rested. A lot of the wounds that you guys had on yourself are starting to heal up really nicely. And as you wake up, you see Dalfin doing something off a little bit to the side of the little camping area.
I'm probably gonna go up, see what he's doing.
Okay.
Maybe a little quietly.
All right. Are you trying to do it so he doesn't hear you?
I think I like Dalfin, so I think it'd be more like a friendly spook and less of like a sneaky sneak.
I gotcha. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Ooh. That's a 19.
Ooh. A 24 does you well, as
Okay.
you can sneak up behind him, and he doesn't really seem to sense you at all.
Okay. Real quick.
Mhm.
Technical question for the DM. Is that including my proficiency bonus?
You'll have to find out.
That's mean.
Is that what it is?
What was it again?
You rolled
had
a
a 19.
24.
Okay. On stealth. Okay.
Okay, let me just open all the character sheets real quick. Anybody waking up that isn't Longfang sees Longfang slowly sneaking up on Dalfin, because you're kind of out in the open. The only reason Dalfin can't sense you is because you're behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna I want to see this interaction, so I'm not rushing, but I am following and approaching.
Okay. As you approach Longfang, you see him pull out this branch. It almost looks like a twig of some kind. However, upon closer inspection, based off your passive perception, you notice that it is a white yew branch, like a little twig, not even like a full branch. It's maybe about that long, and it's tightly wound with copper wire, and has a small gemstone on top of the branch. And you see him kind of pull it out, shuffle away some of the top layer of the dirt, and he sticks it in. And you just hear him say this word in a language that you do understand.
Oh.
Oh. In a language that sounds a little bit different from common, you hear him say the word. Does anybody else hear it being that close? Kaithana, were you approaching as well? Or was it just Zogamar and Longfang? Bailey, were you approaching as well, or was it just Longfang and Zogamar?
It looks like Bailey's still muted? Question mark?
Oh, does she not know that we were done?
This is a long dream. Bailey. These are the technical difficulties, my friends.
Did you think that was just a full dream right there? Because I waved you back a little while ago.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
So Longfang is approaching Delphin. So is Zogamar. Are you approaching or are you chilling back?
I'll approach.
Okay. Lockdown, are you approaching as well?
Does he also think that we're not out of the dream yet?
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna.
It was
if
his
everyone
dream.
else
I
is
hope he knew.
approaching, Lockdown's gonna.
Lockdown's going to? Cool. So as you begin to approach Kaithana, Zogamar, you do not. But actually, no, Zogamar, you do. Zogamar, Kaithana, and Longfang, you all seem to understand this language that he's speaking that doesn't quite sound like common. Lockdown, you have no idea what language he is currently speaking, but you hear him speak, and the word holly kind of triggers in your brain for the common terminology, but like you're not quite sure what language he was speaking off the top of your head, but you understand it as the word holly. And as he says that word, the gem ignites into fire and the branch begins burning. And you hear him say, Teal'c, we have found the adventurers. We are bringing them back. See you very soon. And as he says that, every single word that he says, the branch kind of burns lower, and the copper wire seems to burn with it as it slowly goes down and down. And it gets near the end, and he just goes, hope you're having a wonderful day. And it burns the rest of the way. Until there's nothing but ash sitting there on the ground. He kind of stands up, brushes off his knees, turns around, and he sees Longfang right behind him and just goes, ah! Oh!
Good morning.
Oh, you gave me a startle. Yeah, it's a good thing you're on our side, because you could have proper slit my throat right there.
Didn't think about that.
Well, thank God.
You know, I didn't tell you yesterday, but I think those scarves you guys have, you know, the green ones with the red, they're really smart. Where'd you get them?
What do you mean by smart?
They look good. They're like,
Oh, yes.
you know, they make you look
Thank
smart.
you very much. Yes, no, they are standard gear that comes with becoming one of the guard members up in Stagwood. We don't have very many members. However, the few of us that do, we like to wear the scarves as a symbol of our fealty to Stagwood.
Okay. Are those like the town colors?
They are indeed, yes.
It's a good look.
Well, how did everyone sleep last night?
fine. Very restful. No dreams. Everything's good.
I slept like the dead. I think that's all thanks to you, though, Zogamar. You set up a great camp.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know I could, but I could. So that's good to know.
Yes, no, me and my men were quite pleased with the arrangements that you set up for us last night. Thank you very much for that. You have more than earned your keep, all of you, really.
It's the least we can do for safe travel back to the town.
Excellent, excellent. And he kind of gets up and he kind of steps out to the road, and he pulls out a small spyglass and like shinks it down. And he's looking down the road and he goes, "Ah, yes. Well, it appears you've all woken up in perfect time. The cart is arriving, which means that we can go ahead and begin our journey back."
Great. Could you remind us how long of a journey are we looking at for today?
It's going to be about a 2-day journey to get back.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could pick up the pace if you really want us to and get there within a day, but it'll be a little bit harder on the horses.
Understood. Will we all be riding together, or how does that work?
Well, we do have 2 horses over there if you guys wanted to split up along your self.
Ooh. It doesn't. I mean, I again, instinctually trust you guys, but I don't know you, except Longfeng. I think I know you. But it doesn't matter to me how we split up necessarily.
Matter to me.
Hold up 1 second.
I am going to ride with Kaithana because she's got the sword. No offense.
That's fair. I haven't had any quality time with our friend Lockdown yet, so that'll be nice.
If that's okay with you.
Fine.
Excellent.
What is quality time?
I don't know. I just said it. Yes, I think it's getting to know each other, a connection one-on-one rather than as a group of beings.
This is something you desire?
I think so. I think it will help us better understand ourselves and each other, which we could really use right now.
Very well.
Okay, this will be fun. I'll just walk towards one of the horses or carts.
Do we have to help you stack the bodies? I mean, not do we have
No,
to.
no.
Can we help you?
You have no need to help them stack the bunnies. They've got 8 well-trained men and women that are coming to help out and gather all the bodies up and bring them back for a proper funeral.
Excellent.
Which is kind of sad because Stagwood tradition is to burn the bodies. So that's rather grim.
The redundancy.
I don't know if they'll change that for this, but I guess we'll see.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's go ahead and gather up things. If you guys want to help us break down the camp, that would be most appreciated. We will be leaving the campfire for them, so they have a place to cook some food for lunch in case they end up staying out here a little bit longer. But we can go ahead and begin our journey.
All right.
Okay. So, you guys begin helping out, breaking down the camp. It doesn't take super long, probably about like a 30 to 45 minutes to get everything broken down. You load up everything onto the horse's saddlebags. There's one horse specifically that has just a large case on the back that holds a bunch of different stuff for them. And then they bring over the 2 horses for you guys. One of them is a beautiful looking mare with brown and white spotted pattern with a beautiful white mane. She looks to be a little bit smaller than the other one. The other one, which is just a solid black male horse with a black, or not solid black, solid brown horse with a black mane and a little bit of white trim just above the hooves. That looks much more sturdy and much more capable of carrying people.
Would we be aware of is lockdown extremely heavy, made of metal?
You can try and pick him up if you want to try.
No, I was like, by looking at him, the robot, them.
Them.
Yeah, I mean, like, would I be able, like,
as you look them over and size them up and down, go ahead and make a perception check for me. We know how good you are with those.
What? I haven't made one of those yet.
Oh, you haven't? That's right. You made investigation.
I mean, well, that was foreshadowing. 7.
7? A 7. You kind of look him up and down and you think, oh, he's not that bad. He shouldn't be too heavy.
Was there any modifiers to my roll?
With a 7, you look him up and down and think, oh, he's not too heavy.
Okay.
For what he is.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take the cat and go to the smaller one.
All right. You just walk over and grab him by the scruff of the neck and lift him, or? All right. So you walk up to Longfang. You head on over to the smaller-looking horse.
I'm gonna pet her. You're such a pretty girl.
She whinnies in satisfaction, from what you can tell.
Okay, I'm good.
Who's
Yeah,
hopping
I'll
up
get
first?
on. Yeah, I'll get on first. I'll take point on
Okay.
this, and I'll reach
Alright.
down and help Longfang up.
Okay. You reach down, help Longfang get up onto the back of the horse. Lockdown and Zokabar.
Yeah, I started walking over toward the horses, so I guess I'll take point and then just kind of beckon for lockdown.
Okay.
So I'll get up first.
You managed to get up on the horse with relative ease. Lockdown, you begin approaching the horse. With your passive perception, you kind of look at the horse and look at Zogamar, and you kind of have this moment of realization where you know there's no way you're riding this thing.
I would not wish to hurt this creature. I should not be on it.
Oh, okay. I don't know, do we have carriages or are you able to walk alongside? I don't want to leave you behind.
I do not suffer from typical exhaustion that muscles do. I should walk.
Okay. I guess I get the big horse all to myself. Great.
Riding in style, bud.
All right. And you guys set off on your journey. So yeah, Kaithana, Longfang, you're on one horse. Zogamar, you're on another horse. Lockdown, you're kind of just walking at a brisk pace, but it doesn't really feel like that difficult of a pace for you as you guys are continuing along your way. And you're looking out over, and it's such a wild change from the mysterious misty forest to the burnt down rubble of Mead's Run. You're looking out and you're seeing these beautiful rolling hills and open grasslands. You see birds flying, chirping. Everything looks at peace, at harmony. There's no real chaos or destruction in the area. It's honestly just beautiful.
I'm definitely taking it all in, kind of making assumptions and stories in my head about who lives out here and whether I could have visited this area before, or, kind of picturing myself going back on the opposite way down this road, and wondering why we were going there in the first place.
Yep.
Where is
Just hear
Dalvin?
like a camera.
What'd you say,
Screenshot
Kaithana?
saved.
Where is Dalvin in the lineup here?
So the way that the lineup is currently going is Dalphin in the very front, two of his archers to either side of him, you guys kind of in the middle, and then two of his other guardsmen chilling on the back. They're
Okay.
kind of watching the rear and watching off to the sides in what appears to be a much more defensive manner than you saw with them the other night.
I'd like to ride up next to him if I can.
Yeah, you absolutely can with no issue. Long Fang comes along for the ride.
Yep. Yes, he does. Dalvin, do you have a moment?
Oh, well, yes, of course I do. Anything for you, madam.
Madam. Okay. Do you last night when we were talking about that story,
Yes.
and you mentioned Summerhaven? Summerhaven?
Yes, Summerhaven, the capital of the human civilizations down to the southeast. My apologies.
It's a human civilization,
Tis.
and how old did you say that civilization was? Did you?
Roughly 475 years. Give or take a few.
Give me a second.
Take your time, take your time.
How many years did you say?
475, give or take a few.
So it was created just after the whole thing went down with Kythos.
Yes, it was. It was around the time that Kitus fell that Summerhaven was actually fully established. There had been some people that had migrated there and had begun working on a new city. However, it wasn't until after Kitus passed that they actually managed to get it established and had the name Summerhaven worked out and prepared. And we are currently in the year 475 AK after Kitus, which is why it is around 475 years ago that Summerhaven was created.
So, gosh, what questions do I have? So this civilization or this area was developed in memorial of Kitus, for Kitus, in respect of Kitus. Like,
Well,
what would cause these humans to create this grand church for Kitus?
Well, they believed that by giving these offerings, they were able to sate Kitus, and by sating Kitus, he would give them protection almost. Which is why the Grand Church of the Crimson Dragon was established.
Okay.
As a way to protect us from the dragons.
And as we haven't had any sightings of Kitus thus far, can we assume that they think this is working?
I would assume so, yes. I mean, ever since about 26 years ago, they've really gained a lot more footing. They've been expanding ever further outward. Something must have happened recently that re-established their footing in Gallia, because they had been around for several hundred years, and they were starting to die out, and people stopped believing in Kitus, and they stopped believing that the church was there to protect them through Kitus's will. But 26 years ago, they began forming many more churches throughout different cities, but they haven't expanded past Sleet Shell, thankfully.
And how far is Summerhaven from here?
Summerhaven is roughly about a 4-week journey southward.
4 weeks south of Stagwood, essentially.
Yes. It is on the very tip of the bay, well, tip of the Gulf, rather, heading all the way down south to the southeast.
You guys see that cloud? That looks like a tree.
Where?
This place is beautiful.
It is a cloud, though.
I don't see it.
It looks like water vapor
What?
and particulates. So that's what clouds are.
Learn something new every day. Or, I mean, I would think so. I'm learning something new, and this is the only day I can remember.
Sorry, did the Gulf have a name, or did you say?
Yes,
Gulf?
the Gulf of
Gulf of
Drakes.
Drakes.
Yes. See, your friend here, he keeps track.
I wrote it down last time too. Sorry. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, Dolphin. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, you're very welcome.
I'll slow down so I'm not up in this business anymore.
Alrighty. So you guys continue traveling. A few more rolling hills. You're following this road pretty well. Everything's just beautiful and peaceful out here. Nothing seems to really be going wrong. The day continues to wind on from early morning to middle of the afternoon to evening. And you notice that the horses kind of start to slow down a little bit as you continue. And you hear Dalphin from up ahead of you just call out to you. Well, I do believe this looks like a fairly decent place to make camp. What do you all think? All of his men are just like, right.
I was like, do we think it's a decent place?
Yeah, can I take a look?
Yeah, make
can I
a
survey?
perception check.
Or
Ooh, that's a 4 for me.
Set up a dice roll.
I think this place is lovely.
I got a 1.
19.
I got an 18.
18. Cool.
Check last time.
Alrighty. So, Longfang, you kind of look around with your 8.
Damn.
And you don't really see anything off of this place. It looks fine. Doesn't look that bad. Kaithana, you look around with your 1. And it looks kind of run down, kind of poor looking. You're not a huge fan of this particular area. Zogamar with your 23.
Nice.
You look around and this place looks great. The ground looks super soft, not really that like difficult to get your stakes into to set up your tents. Not really all that like uncomfortable to lie on. It looks like it would be an absolutely wonderful place to make camp. And lockdown with your 11 or 21, not 11. Sorry.
-8 to perception.
I level 5.
With your 21, you look around and you also see what Zogamar sees. It looks like a very nice place to set up camp.
I think this looks as good as any place. I could set up pretty easily here. Looks even nicer than where we slept last night, actually.
Okay.
Well, I'll get to work again, I guess, since this is my reputation now.
Oh, no. You did an absolutely phenomenal job last night. Let us take care of it tonight. And if you guys, I know you don't really have that much equipment with you, but if you have any interest in taking watch tonight, we would be happy to have the reprieve. We haven't really gotten much rest the past few nights, but that is completely up to you. I won't push you. I won't say, hey, absolutely do this. I will let you all decide.
I mean,
I will stand watch.
Sure.
I do not require much sleep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Dalphin, do you have any spare scrolls or quills or anything around?
No, we have a few. Anything in
I'd
particular
appreciate-
that you're looking for?
No, ideally just some blank paper or something of the sort.
Yeah, absolutely. He reaches into the pack on his horse, pulls out a scroll and a quill with a little ink reservoir as well. And he hands it to you and he goes, don't worry about it, keep it. It's another
Thank you.
reward for your wonderful work last night.
Thank you. I just have this feeling that I'll be able to focus more keeping watch if I'm also, just kind of keeping my hands busy.
Yeah, absolutely. So they go ahead and start making camp. What are you guys doing while they make camp?
can I? They have like rations and stuff, right? I was gonna say maybe go look for more food because I think they only had rations for 2 extra people.
Yeah, so they you walk up to them and they kind of look at you. Oh, yes, what can we do for you?
So you guys have like enough rations for like an extra 2 people that you sent back with the refugees, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's gonna be a little thin with? Well, I guess it would be 3 extra mouths.
Well, I mean, we're only here for another night, so I don't think it'll really be that big of an issue. As long as you guys are fine with splitting a meal betwixt 2 of you, or 2 meals betwixt the 3 of you, I don't think it'll cause any issues before we return back to Stagwood tomorrow, and we'll be able to have a proper feast.
But do I want to share? That's the question.
Well, if you convince the 2 other people to split their meal, then more for you.
I guess it's fine. I'll live for a night. At least we don't have to feed Lockdown. No
yeah.
offense, Lockdown.
No, I do not require food in your sense, so none taken.
Not that I know much about you at all, but that might be one of my favorite things so far.
That I do not eat.
This was a joke. Maybe I don't be sarcastic to you.
Ha 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 ha. Jokes are funny.
Yes, they are.
I will make note. Note made.
Well done, friend. I pat him on the back and I walk away.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
You guys look around for Zogamar, and he's already just kind of like gone off into the tree line, like looking for, just kind of exploring.
Okay. So as you make your way through the tree line and stuff, you do come across another stream. From the looks of it, it looks very similar to the stream that you guys had seen further down the road. It appears that they probably built this road alongside the streams, that way travelers and horses and such could have easy access to water, which probably kind of took them far out of their way in making the road from both the cities, and that's probably why it took so long to get from one place to another, is because they wanted to make it easier access to the stream for water. And as you also approach, you notice a large smooth rock kind of on a little hill next to the creek.
Oh, I definitely approach the smooth rock. Does it look wet? Does it look like just normal? Like it's fine?
It looks dry. It looks like a large smooth rock.
Cool. I'm gonna like just kind of like lay down on it.
Okay, and as you lay down,
Yeah.
It kills you.
nothing happens because it is just a rock.
Cool.
So you guys continue. What are the rest of you doing after you see Zogamar kind of walk off?
Yeah, I was
Do
gonna
we see him walk off?
Yeah, you guys do see him walk off. I don't imagine you would be trying to be stealthy about
No.
it, would you?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I assume like it's evening time-ish, so
Mhm.
we're settling down. So I would find like kind of an empty area, maybe with like a large tree or stump or something.
Mhm.
And I want to take out my sword, and I want to see how good I am with it.
Okay. Make a perception check to find a tree to do this with, like a decent looking tree.
New dice, because the last one. And
10? So you look around, and it's not a hard check to do. You find a relatively sturdy looking tree that's also like a little bit rotted, so that way you're not going to be causing any issues with the
healthy tree.
yeah, exactly, not going to be causing any issues in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead and approach it and do what you wish.
Am I making an attack?
Yes, you are.
Okay, new dice, because they've all are not pleasing me right now. 18.
Is that your roll?
That was my roll.
Okay. A 15 does in fact hit the tree.
Ah! What the fuck am I?
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, 15 is still a 15, but like, damn.
What did you roll?
What?
What did you roll?
An
Hold on a second.
18.
Hold on a second. Why is that? Oh,
like a-
hold on a second. That's my bad. Ignore that.
Because I was going to be like, I have no clue what I am now.
No, sorry. I was going based off of your character sheet on Fantasy Grounds, which has it as a -5 to your strength.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I was
what?
like, what?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I freaked out about that when I pulled Fantasy Grounds up today. I was like, why is my initiative -5?
A 21 definitely hits the tree.
That makes more sense.
Plus 3.
I
And if I'm
was
not
really worried for you.
using a greatsword would be with strength.
Mm-hmm. And
Wait.
go ahead and roll a d6 for damage.
Okay. Gosh, I'm like doing like 8,000 calculations in my brain right now.
We'll find out our important stuff eventually.
Yeah, I definitely need a
I
math
want
tutor.
to go now.
Same.
So I rolled a 4 on my d6.
On your d6. All right. So a total of 7 damage. You cut through like a good chunk of the tree. The chipping on the greatsword seems to go through without causing any excess damage, thankfully, based on how skillfully you swing that sword. Everybody watching, everybody in the area that was watching kind of looks at it and realizes, oh, wow, that was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely glad I rode with you.
I'm doing math. So, I mean, is this allowed?
You can do math.
Because if my attack bonus is +3, I would assume my strength is +3, unless.
Proficiency bonus is a +3.
But yeah, if I'm proficient in it, wouldn't I add my proficiency bonus?
Why
So am I
didn't it
not-
add the proficiency bonus? Never mind. Sorry, it's a 24 to hit. That's my apologies.
Okay. That's why
Sorry,
I was just like,
I
like
looking
all
between
the
the
math
character
variables
sheet
I was
on Fantasy
trying to get-
Grounds and the character sheet on your D&D Beyond thing that I have for your character, while also looking at the stats for the greatsword is a little bit of math for me too. It's been a while
Okay.
since I've had to do this much math.
no,
I'll need a tutor.
No, and that's why, like,
Yep,
I was
my
doing the math
apologies.
too, and I'm like, how is this? I'm like,
My
all the pieces of the puzzle. I'm
apologies.
like, I feel like, anyway. So then my 18 became a 24.
Yes.
Okay, so then that means my strength is probably a +1 with if I'm proficient in my greatsword.
Proficiency's +3, so it would be +3 for like
But my attack was +4,
6.
so that means,
You rolled an 18 and got a 24.
oh my gosh. Math. Okay, so yes, I thought initially 18, 24. Yes, okay. Okay. So then it's what I had, and then I erased it. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Uh,
What does everyone else do? Oh, Zogmar, you did not see her hit the tree. You're
No.
doing your thing. What are you writing?
What am I writing?
Mhm.
I think I start by doodling. Like, I think I just kind of am like taking in the landscape a little bit, but like, because I feel like that would come a little bit more naturally. But I think I'm just sort of starting to like practice, like kind of discover if I have penmanship, like just kind of like writing out word like nouns of like the things I see around, adjectives to describe them. Like, I'm not writing any story or anything. I'm just kind of like seeing how writing down certain words of things that I see feels.
I gotcha. Make a dexterity check for me. What are Longfang and Lockdown doing after watching Kythana just bring this great axe into the tree?
I keep going. Like I'm continuing
Yeah.
to do that.
Lockdown runs up and kicks the tree.
You run up and kick the tree.
Lockdown. What are you doing?
Why? We are attacking this tree, no?
No, I'm just.
Go ahead and make an attack roll, though.
I got.
18.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just testing my abilities. The tree has done nothing wrong.
What did you say, Zogomar?
I just got an 11 dex check.
You got an 11 dex
But we
check.
can solve that later if you want.
Okay. Lockdown, what was your roll?
18.
An 18?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll me a d6 for damage.
With the kick.
3.
A 3. All right, so your 25 caused you to walk up, and your kind of kick just comes up, hits the side of the tree, and it leaves an imprint of your leg in the tree, equivalent to the total of, what was the damage roll? You said a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like you did quite a bit of damage to that tree for 7 damage.
Oh. So we are not. So this is not this is not a threat.
No, I was just curious as what my abilities were with this sword, as I have one, and they seem to be pretty okay at it.
I see. So you are simulating danger to harness your abilities. I apologize. I will let you continue.
Lockdown. There's no reason to apologize. I just wanted to clear up a misunderstanding.
I see. Do not attack trees randomly. Got it.
Or at least ask first.
So it's been, a minute. Are we cool with our more nervous friend having gone off by themselves?
Your 13 allows you to write some really beautiful script. You seem to be pretty well versed in writing things down. Your drawings and stuff kind of look a little bit more like scribbles. You're not really, you can't really get the fine little tuned penmanship to do the drawings and stuff. However, your writing is pretty immaculate.
Nice. Cool.
Continue, Longfang.
Yeah, are we not worried? They're kind of like nervous, and we're just leaving them by themselves.
Sometimes people like alone time.
But we don't know where we are.
Would you like to go look for them?
Kind of. Okay. He knows who I am, and I kind of feel responsible for the guy. So,
Hey,
but also I don't want to go by myself
I will go with you.
because I don't know where I am.
So let us go retrieve Zogramar.
Okay. Sure. Just worried about him. That's like normal, right? Okay. I'm gonna go.
I'll
Okay.
go with you.
Right.
I'll go.
So Longfang, Kathana, Lockdown, you guys, while they're still setting up the camp and getting everything started, you guys walk off in the direction that you saw Zogamar walking. And about like a minute and a half into walking through the trees and stuff, you do see them sitting upon this large smooth stone rock with a piece of paper in front of them, quill in one hand, ink in front of them, and they appear to be writing stuff out. Julian, Longfang, you have this momentary flash of him not sitting on a rock, but him sitting at a desk. And then it flashes back.
Huh. Do I get the sense that I shouldn't bother him?
You get the sense that he's at peace. Or that they are at peace.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the other two, and then I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna sit next to him and be quiet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to the camp and continue hitting my tree stump.
Lockdown, what are you doing?
Lockdown's very confused at everyone splitting up and eventually just follows Kathana.
Gotcha. Okay. So Longfang, you and Zogamar are just sitting there. You kind of feel like this comfort to yourself come over you as well. Like this moment feels comfortable to you. Them sitting there, writing just various different things. You just sitting there staring out over this field and this stream, watching little fish kind of swim around and such.
I'd like to like dip my feet in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. The rock kind of hangs out over the water, and it's not too high off that you couldn't stick your feet in from there if you wanted to. You both feel like you've been kind of in a similar situation like this before.
Hey, Longfang.
You could just call me Fang. Long Fang is so long.
Zogamar's pretty long too. You just have 2 syllables. I have 3, but I like it. I feel like, I don't know, 3 syllables seems right for me. Like if my name was Roderick or something. I don't know who's crazy. But Yeah, I don't know. This rock was kind of calling out to me, and it's so pretty out here that I was just like, I'm gonna try to draw some pictures, but then I found out that I can't really draw, but I can write. My letters do these kind of like swirly things that are really cool, but I don't really
Take
have.
over.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to write yet.
The
I'm
writing
just
looks
words.
beautiful.
Can I try?
Sure. I hand him the quill or
Okay.
pen.
Make a dexterity check for me.
We're all just asking to do things so that we can slowly get our stats.
You know what? This is calculative. Like,
Mhm.
Wait. Are you trying to mimic his writing, or are you trying to do your own writing?
Trying to do my own.
Okay. Well, dexterity check.
Okay. I think that's a 6.
6.
Yeah. They kind of look the same on my. Where did I put
Gotcha.
all my?
So with an 8, you're kind of like writing, and you're kind of super focused on it too hard, and it kind of looks a little bit scratchier. No pun intended.
Wow.
Not good.
It's not. It's legible. It's legible. But that is probably the only true remark that can be made about it.
I don't think I'm good at this.
I didn't know I would be, but I guess I don't know. I woke up with those papers that I couldn't read, so I just figured that was something, that I might be
Right. I remember the
drawn to.
papers.
Yeah, I still have them. They're just back by the horse. Just kind of left them on the ground by the horse.
Did you figure anything out about them?
No, they're like super dirty and torn up. But I don't know. I didn't feel like I think that's just something that I was drawn to. Like I kind of always have papers with me. I don't know that those ones in particular held any significance. But it is getting kind of dark. I'm having to kind of strain, or am I having to strain my eyes to see?
Is it?
That's a good question.
It doesn't bug me at all.
Yeah, I forget that your species isn't like clear like the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm fully having no problems.
Neither Zogamar or Longfang seem to be having any issue with the lowering light.
Cool.
Mm.
Good to know. But it is getting late, and I feel like we should probably join, maybe help with the finishings up of the camp. So I'm gonna head back if you want to come.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so you guys begin making your way back to camp, but we're going to flash back to Kaithana and Lockdown making their way back towards camp, or rather Kaithana making her way towards the tree, that she continues swinging her greatsword axe. You feel like this, like not necessarily joy, but this comfort to it. As you're swinging your great axe, you're kind of like getting into the movements of it. And after a couple of seconds, you start doing these like really beautiful like attacks, like movements and stuff. Not necessarily a flurry, but you do manage to get like these movements down for some really incredible swordsmanship. And as the tree kind of collapses, you just hear from behind you, "Well done! Very well done. You seem to have that quite underhand."
Seems so.
Very impressive. Some of my men can't even do that. Aye. It's not very nice. You know it's true. You stick to your bows. Very beautiful indeed. Have you ever thought of... Well, I'm sure you were an adventurer, which means you probably did think about putting those skills to use. Never mind. Ignore me. Camp's almost done. Do you mind helping us out with this fire?
Not at all.
Kaithana walks up and...
I was about to say, just from there, just like that far away from the fire.
That's where I do it from. The range.
So you try and do it from there, and this cone of about 15 feet's worth of fire comes shooting out. And he kind of like falls down. The guy's, "Not from there! Get over here! Gonna burn this place to the ground." Maybe you did do Maid's Run.
Are we back under suspicion for that?
No, I'm just poking fun. Come on. Dark humor.
I think I'm pretty funny, but I don't show it, and I walk over to the campfire.
Okay. And I'm guessing you use your breath weapon to light it up.
Why
Gotcha,
not?
gotcha. So you do the large cone, but then as you go to try and like produce a similar amount of flame to start the fire, you notice that only a small little spit flame comes out. You can't quite get the full force that you did earlier.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
But am I able to start the campfire? Or?
Yeah, you're able to start the campfire. You blow a little bit of a flame down onto the tinder. Yeah, very focused down onto the tinder, and you manage to spark it up and light it, and it is now currently burning. And you see Marcel kind of comes walking up with a pot and a pan, and he starts cooking up some food for you guys. And right around this time, Lockdown, what are you doing during this time?
It's kind of just standing there, occasionally turning. He's just keeping an eye out.
I gotcha. And as the campfire starts burning and food begins getting cooked, Zogamar and Longfang return from the woods.
And I see the food and all that getting ready.
Yep.
So I'm gonna shout out, Delphin!
Yeah.
We gonna have another story time or what?
Well, what do you want to hear?
Know any Tabaxi stories?
I'm not super familiar with Tabaxi stories. However, I am rather familiar with the story of the huntress and the hunter. If that interests you all at all.
That sounds cool.
Sure.
Well, let's get dinner sorted, and we'll sit around the fire, and I'll tell you all the story. How does that sound?
Sounds wonderful.
This is one that... Do it.
I was gonna say, can I go help with the food so that this goes by faster?
Yes. Go ahead and head on over there, and then I want you to make a... what do you guys typically use to do like cooking and stuff? Because I've always used survival.
So if they're proficient with cooking utensils,
Yeah, you would get the proficiency for that as well, but
it's pretty much DM's discretion on what ability the tool uses.
okay. We're gonna go with survival. Go ahead and make a survival check for me, Longfang.
Big money, no whammies. It's a 2.
All right, with a 3, you kind of come over and you start trying to help, and
I can burn the food.
as one of the sausages begins to burn, Marcel just smacks your hand and goes, "No, let me do it. You're not very good at this, are you?" And he kind of pulls it off the flame, and he just kind of like uses his foot to keep you back from cooking anymore. And he's like, "This is my meal too, you know."
Sorry. Just impatient.
Could I do something while he goes over? So I'm gonna say to Dalphin, when Longfang said Tabaxi stories, what is that? What does Tabaxi mean?
Oh, well, Tabaxi, well, I figure since you're traveling with one... Well, that's right, you guys kind of lost your memories. Tabaxi are catfolk. They're humanoid people with cat-like traits. Their species came to Gallia a couple of hundred years ago, not too long ago. I think it was more... It was less than 200 years ago, but it was more than 100 years ago. I'm not entirely sure. They came to Gallia. They took up some spots in the region. They mostly live in human cities, though.
And you called Kaithana a dragon, and you called Lockdown a forged? These words just kind of describe what people are.
Yes, their species.
What would you use to describe me?
You know, I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
I'm not either. All these words were being thrown around that I think that they sound familiar, but I didn't have one.
Well,
I was clinging to. But
If you had horns, I'd say you might be a tiefling, but I don't see any horns. And also some tieflings have tails, and I haven't seen a tail on you yet.
nope. All right, that's fine. Just trying to gather information as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there are tons of different species out there that I haven't even quite met myself, and that I'm sure there's even more that no one's quite met yet. Who knows?
It's kind of exciting.
It is.
Thank you.
So you don't think oh gosh, what's the city's called? Stagwood. You don't think Stagwood's not you don't think, but Stagwood doesn't sound like super diverse place.
Oh, we've got a bit of diversity. I mean, we're usually okay. So first of all, when you get there, not everyone's as nice and upfront and charming as me. A lot of people there are a little bit more standoffish. We've had a lot of issues with poachers over the years. People coming in hunting certain animals out of season, and they've really messed up a lot of the balance that we've been trying to maintain with nature. Yes, we are a community of hunters. However, we like to preserve balance in the ecosystem. We never hunt too much. We never hunt too little. We try and make sure that there's no overpopulation, but also that there is enough of the population to keep the ecosystem in balance. That's actually why we were able to make such good friends with the elves. They saw our efforts and they looked at us and thought, "Hey, they're doing it right. They're doing it how we do it. They're good. They're very good." But we've got some orcs. We've got a couple of tabaxi living in town, but we don't really have very many outsiders and visitors coming. And even if we did, a lot of the people are kind of standoffish to them. Just because we're so worried about poachers coming in and giving us a bad rap.
Well, we'll have to establish ourselves as non-poachers then. Hopefully, get some respect of the people when we don't not live there. I don't know, stay there.
Well, luckily for you, you're riding with the captain of the guard, and you'll probably get a little bit of standing and recognition with that. However, I can't say for certain that everyone will be as kind to you as I am. Marcel calls out from the back, "Food's done!" And you see him portion it out on the plates. All right. So, you all begin eating, and Dalphin continues eating his food as he goes, "So, the hunter and the huntress. Many years ago, probably around 400 or 500 BK before Kaitis. Well, I'm sure you guys are aware of that now. I just felt like reminding you just in case, because of the whole memory thing. About 400 to 500 years before Kaitis, there was this man known as Tempest. And Tempest was a hunter of great renown. He traveled around and sought many adventures, sought many treasures, helped many people across this land. And in fact, he was the first one to really settle on the eastern side of the mist-veiled forest. Tempest was quite an accomplished hunter, both monsters, both animals, never really hunting for sport, only to survive, but also when it came to monsters, he would track them down, and the bigger they were, the more he wanted to fight. And he came east, and he settled a town by the name of Stagwood. Yes, the very same Stagwood that we are heading to. And in doing so, he brought together many groups of people. Back then, there were only 4 families living in Stagwood, 2 houses, and the main house that Tempest has built, which has been refurbished a couple of times, but is still standing today in its initial glory. It's very beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it. It's called Hunter's Home. Absolutely gorgeous. So one day, he hears tales of a mysterious huntress that had been seen in the forests. And he went off in search of her because he was worried that maybe she was better than him. And he couldn't have that. He had to prove himself. Many people said that she was better than him, but he did not believe it for himself. He began traveling through the woods, through the mist-veiled forest, talking to many of the elven city leaders about who it could be, where they could be found, where were they from. And as he made his way through, one day he's sitting by a pond, a small pond in the mist-veiled forest, taking a bath, relaxing after a long day's journey, rabbit cooking upon his campfire. All of a sudden, an arrow pierces into the ground next to his head. And he looks up, and he sees this woman. Red skin, long brown hair, and a bow made of vines, it appeared. She had another arrow knocked and pointed directly at him, and he knew that she had his number. So he raises up both of his hands, and he says, "I've been looking for you." She says, I know you have. "What do you want with me?" He says, "Well, I want to see who's the better hunter. For a long time I have been the best hunter in these lands, and I've heard many tales of your exploits and what you've done, and I have to see it from my own eyes. As the founder of Stagwood, to the east of here, I believe that the leader of this town should be the greatest hunter that resides within it. I know you don't reside within it, but if you are better than me, I would like to turn it over to you." She looks at him, confused, because not very many women back then were in positions of power. She looks him up and down, she goes, "Well, I'm afraid it wouldn't be fair to you." And he says, "Why not?" She goes, "I have quite the upper hand, as I'm sure you will see." They set up targets on the trees, and they knock their arrows, and they fire the first shot. Tempest hits bullseye. This huntress looses her arrow, off in a different direction than the target. And you hear it ricochet off 2 trees, and it hits right in the center, right next to Tempest's. And he looks at her. She looks at him with a big old grin. And he says, "There is no way you could pull that off without magic. Are you using some sort of trickery on me?" She says, "No. I am not doing anything other than what I am physically capable of doing. No tricks, no magic. Just my skill." The next target that they had set up swung from left to right. Tempest loosed an arrow between the trees, hit the target slightly off center, a little shaken from the encounter with the last shot. The huntress pulls back, aims it down, fires her arrow, pierces a tree directly in front of the target. And Tempest goes, "Ha! Looks like you're not that good after all." And she turns and looks at me and she goes, "Did you not see the target never swing out?" And Tempest walked over to the target 100 meters away, walks past the tree, and there with a perfect bullseye, the arrow is pierced through the tree and into the target. And he turns back, knocks his arrow, and he goes, "There is no way you are not doing any sort of trickery." And she goes, "Calm yourself." She waves her hand over her form, and he sees a centaur radiating bright green light. And he looks at her, and she looks at him, and she says, "I'm not doing any trickery. However, I am not a humanoid such as yourself. I am not a changeling such as yourself. I am not a normal creature such as yourself." And he looks at her and he says, "Who are you?" And she says, "I am the goddess Perishenta. And it is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Tempest. I have noticed what you have done for this land and what you will continue doing for this land. I see your legacy ahead of you. And it is magnificent and it is beautiful. I couldn't help myself but play a few games with you, but this was very lovely. And I'm sure I will see you around again. And that is the story of the hunter and the huntress. Tempest occasionally would return to the Mistveiled Forest and play games with Parashenta, supposedly. Can you imagine that? A normal humanoid playing games with an absolute deity like our goddess Parashenta.
And so this Tempest was the founder of Stagwood?
Yes, he was.
And Parashenta is a goddess that everyone in Stagwood worships, or just she's
We follow some beliefs because we've heard many stories of Parashenta making her way through the Mistveiled Forest. However, we don't. Oh, also, during his entire story, Zogmar, everything he said kind of clicked for you, and about halfway through the story, you were reciting it alongside of him.
Nice.
Like in your head, like you were mouthing the words as you did it, as he was reading, as he was like stating it.
Interesting.
You must be from Stagwood if you know these stories. I mean, this is just conjecture, but like.
Yeah.
And so, as he says that, he's just like, but yes, no. There's all sorts of stories about Parashenta and treating the poachers poorly. However, she is a goddess. She doesn't have the time to deal with all of this.
Of course, they've got way too much to do.
Absolutely. But yes, we believe that our practices of maintaining the ecosystem and maintaining balance in the ecosystem without overhunting is very important, and it's one of our ways that we pay tribute to her.
Wow.
Are there any other deities familiar to you or this area or in general?
Not that I'm aware of.
Or
Off the
just
top of my head, no.
Stagwood in general is aware of this goddess.
Well, I'm sure there's other places that are aware of her. I mean, she's made friends with some of the elven cities. I'm sure they're familiar with her as well.
And there are no other deities that are worshipped in in this area.
Not that I'm personally familiar with, but I'm sure there are.
None of these stories are ringing a bell for me, are they?
Nope. Well,
Ironic.
there's a slight.
I know.
There's like a slight, like, they sound familiar, but you don't remember them super well. Kaithana, you don't have any memory of it. Lockdown, you don't have any memory of it.
He's watching Longfang eat and like mirroring the movements.
Beautiful.
Just I'm hungry. I don't remember us eating breakfast.
Well, it has been an absolute long day of travel. I'm sure you are all as tired as I am. Tomorrow we will be you will all be meeting the Lady of Stagwood, Tilquin, and she is going to want to speak with you all, gather what you do remember and what you don't remember, and she may be able to help in some ways that I can't.
All right. Lockdown, if you want to take, I know you said that you don't require much rest. If you want to take the first watch, maybe we can relieve you halfway through the night.
Are we doing this in like teams of two? How do they normally do it? The Stagwood people.
The Stagwood people were doing it in teams too.
We can do it in teams of two as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or Lockdown can just do it the whole time. It's off. What else do you want to do?
I have one request. Delphin,
Yes.
can I have a scarf for the night? If I'm keeping guard?
You know what? Absolutely. And he reaches into his pack and he pulls out another scarf. Not one of the ones that everyone else is wearing, but he wraps it around your neck for you, and he goes, "It looks nice on you. Keep it."
I am ready to guard.
Okay. Is anyone staying up with lockdown for the first watch?
I can.
Okay. I need. Do you guys want to combine your perceptions, or do you guys want to do separate?
You know what yours is already, Brad?
Yeah,
What is it?
2.
Go for it. I will.
Alright.
Don't you have a negative to perception?
He's a 0.
All right. So lockdown, roll perception at advantage.
First one's a nat 20. Second one's a 16.
That's all because of me.
So we're going with the 16.
Yeah, I like to take the low. No, 20.
All right. So you're 22. You feel this sort of fulfillment with the scarf, and in doing so, you just kind of plant yourself and slowly start looking back to forth. You guys are doing your watch.
Yeah. I'm fine with the peace and quiet. So
Okay.
lockdown doesn't say anything, and I'm cool.
Okay. So the time slowly passes into the beginning of the night. It's kind of chilly. There's some stars twinkling out. You can't quite tell what time of year it is just because you're not that familiar with keeping track of the stars and stuff. But based on the way that the way it's feeling, it's kind of getting into the sort of autumnal season. It's getting kind of chilly, not super chilly. It feels nice after a long day in the sun. And as your night comes to a close, or as your watch comes to a close, nothing happens.
Okie dokie.
Yep. Is anyone else taking watch?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll
Which one of you is
wait.
next?
Someone up.
Wait, I thought we were doing teams of 2. Or is there?
Oh,
are there
yeah.
how many-
Well, lockdown. Are you going to continue watch, or do you just want a break time?
If Zilgrimar and Longfang would like to take watch, I will not argue.
I'll go wake both of them up.
Okay.
It's just like, hey, do you want to watch?
Watch what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, soul switch.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I would like to perch in a tree.
How adorable.
Okay. You climb up into the tree. Make an acrobatics check for me.
I need a different dice. That's a 4.
This is what happens.
A 6. You kind of start trying to climb up into the tree. However, there's not really any good handhelds for you. You try and use your claws to try and lift yourself up. However, you're not really having that easy of a time. Eventually, you do manage to get up into the tree, but it takes you a little while because you're relearning how to use your claws and climbing.
Is there a continuous fire going through the
The
night?
fire continues burning. You can add wood to it as you see fit.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay near the fire and just kind of keep writing and stuff.
Okay. I need both of you to make perception checks for me.
Oh, I'd like it to be stated lockdown is just standing in one of the tents,
Why
As
did I
he
not
d-
use new dice?
as he does not need to lay down to rest.
So I got a 5, which I know is a 9 now.
Yeah, I got a 5, which I know is a 10.
Beautiful, beautiful. 10 and 9. You guys look out, and you're Zogamar. You're not really paying too much attention, just because you're kind of more focused on your books. Longfang, you're looking out. Kind of feel yourself like doze off a little bit. Not all the way back into sleep, but you're kind of like sitting there a little bit dozy. Is there anything else that you two are doing on your watch?
Um,
Not for me. No.
no.
Okay. Hey, this is Zogamar. Where are my dice? There they are. Cool. Cool. As you are writing, you look down and you have written in this language that you can read, but you can tell is different from the language before. It's not in common, it's in another language. And as you kind of like sit there and focus on this word, you start like thinking to yourself, Elvish. Elvish. Mm-hmm. And you start to realize that this language that you heard Delphine speak earlier and this language that you are now writing is Elvish. And as you sit there and stare at the Elvish writing, you notice that it looks very similar to the writing on the burnt pieces of paper. Not just similar in the language in the script, but also in the way it's written.
Oh, okay. Yes, gotcha. And just a reminder, Delphine said the word in Elvish, but then the words he said after were in common.
Correct.
Okay, so he wasn't speaking Elvish into the thing.
No,
he was relaying the message.
Correct.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I think I still have those papers with me, and I kind of just add my current one like to the top of the stack, and get the feeling like it's like I wasn't reading stories that someone else wrote. It might have been things that I had written myself. So I try to kind of like replicate that feeling and just keep writing. I'm probably like writing about the hunter and the huntress and stuff.
As you begin writing it, you feel like you've written this before. Like each pen stroke, each quill stroke, just feels familiar and natural.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, that's interesting. Alrighty. And as you guys continue doing your various things, Longfang, you stifling a cat nap in the tree. Zogamar, you writing down beautiful words in Elvish. Your watch comes to an end. And as you guys begin making your way back, trying to think about who would probably be best to take watch, Delphin kind of comes out from his stand. He goes, "Oh, you two, go ahead and go ahead and take some rest."
Do you have anyone helping you out, or are you good?
No. I've got it. It's gonna be absolutely wonderful. You're fine. Go ahead and get some rest.
All right.
Don't need to think twice. I just go straight back to sleep.
Okay. And Delphin begins.
I'm gonna like stay up just for like 5 or 10 minutes and watch him to see if he like falls asleep out there.
I gotcha. You sit there and continue watching him, and he begins like walking around. He goes over to a water pail, splashes some water in his face, slaps himself awake, and by the time that you go off to your tent, you can tell that he is up and ready to go. He's cool. Taken shorter periods of rest before in his life, leading up to like travel and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Professional.
Exactly. So you all begin taking your rest. Let me think here. Let me roll for everybody real quick.
For what?
This is lockdown. Nothing for lockdown.
Forged are also 6 hours long rest.
Yep. Ooh, Zogamar.
So you still do need sleep, technically, I guess, or rest or whatever.
Yep.
I don't get any benefits of long rest unless I do not require sleep.
So
So
All
if
right.
I have anything that needs recharging, I need the long rest.
And it's 6 hours for you.
6
Yes.
hours, yeah.
Yeah. Zogamar,
Mm-hmm.
you are the only one who has any sort of dream tonight.
Cool.
I need everyone else to go ahead and ears off, and then when I wave at you, come back. Alrighty. So as you kind of lull yourself to sleep, thinking about the story of the hunter and the huntress, you fade into darkness and you fade back into light, and you look around as you slide a book into a bookshelf. The spine of the book reads, Rebuilding from the Great War. And as you look around after sliding the book in, you still have a couple more books in your arms. And as you look around, you notice that there is just bookshelf after bookshelf after bookshelf after bookshelf after bookshelf. It is a massive library expanding out around you. There's a large entrance area with a small desk in the center. Great big doors at the front. Several stairs leading up to the level that you're on, and more stairs leading up to another level above you, and more stairs leading up to another level even up further above that as you walk to the edge of this balcony that looks down across the center and look around. You see that there are tens upon thousands of books in this library.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear your voice call out below you. Grandmaster, where are the books about where you told me this story about a hunter and a huntress, the goddess? And he just looks up and goes, "It's on the second floor, Zogamar. If you want to read it, go ahead, but I also want you to transcribe it from Common into Elvish for me." "Yes, sir." And you kind of make your way up to the second floor, or the third floor, second level from the ground level. And you're running through all these books. You're running your fingers across them all. They're passing quickly, and then finally you recognize this one that reads The Hunter and the Huntress on the spine. You pull it out. You go and sit down at a desk, and you pull out another tome about the same thickness from your satchel on your back, and you lay it down next to you, and you flip them both open, and you feel this joy kind of billow up inside of you as you lean forward and start writing as you read.
So the book I pulled out was like a blank book of the same size.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
And that's it. You then wake up.
We'll keep going until we know that everyone is.
Yep, I'm back.
Just gonna message Bailey.
Welcome back, Bailey. All right. Yeah, so that is your dream for the night. It happens in the second half of your sleep, after the rest and everything, or after the watch and everything. Yeah, and you all wake up in the morning, and you see Delphine, Marcel, and the two other guys, the three other guys that you haven't really asked the names of at this point, slowly breaking down their tents and getting the horses all saddled up and stuff.
So I had a horse all to myself yesterday. If either of you feel like riding solo, I could share a horse with one of you. Just wanted to offer. If you were happy to ride together, that's fine by me as well.
I leave it up to you, Long Fang.
I think I'm going to stay.
All right.
Okay.
Zolmar, do you have a problem switching horses?
Oh no, that could be a fun. So you two ride on the larger. That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Okay.
So yeah,
So Kaithana, Longfang, you two are hopping on the bigger horse. So everything gets broken down. You guys get onto horseback. You get settled in, and then you continue your journey down the road. Once again, the guards are keeping a steady eye out for you guys. You don't really have to focus in on the surroundings. You can just take in the beauty of the land around you. As you guys are following down this road, you do notice that the clouds above you begin to be a little bit more numerous. They're fluffy white clouds, but there's quite a few more than there were the day before. And as you're kind of looking around, you do see some storm clouds further off in the distance, probably several hours from you guys. And you continue making your way down the road until finally, in the distance, several hours into your journey, probably about 6 or 7 hours into your journey, you see what appear to be some wooden walls around what appears to be the edge of a city, and you hear a horn blow out. Kaithana and Lockdown, this horn sounds familiar to you. You can tell that it appears to be a ram's horn.
Okay.
And as the horn blows out, the gates of the town begin to open. And Dalphin turns and looks at you guys from his horse and he goes, "Welcome to Stagwood." And as he kind of rides in front of you guys into the city, you open up onto this. You're on a cobblestone road, first of all, leading up through the center of town. And as you make your way in, you see this large building towards the end of this road. The road kind of splits off in two different directions, one off to the right when you first enter, and then one off to the left after it hits that large building. The wooden building appears to be log cabin design almost, with large logs of what you can assume is probably maple or pine, layered across the outer edges, beautiful door. And just in front of that building is this large statue of a man with a bow in his hand, kind of leaned back, long hair at his sides. And Zogamar, you immediately recognize this symbol as the statue of Tempest. In the back of your head, you just have that knowledge kind of come to the front of your mind.
Is he extremely handsome?
He is extremely handsome.
Clearly, Longfang was meowing at him.
Purring. So, as you guys make your way up, you see this woman come out of the front of the building at the end of the road that you guys are walking up to. It appears to be a half-elf woman with long blonde hair, kind of shaved off one side, but the rest kind of rests down to the top of her breastbone as she makes her way out. Dalphin, pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to see you, hun. Welcome back, she calls out to him. Tilquin, it's been a long day. The rest of the folks should be coming back in a couple days or so. I'm heading off to the hall. Hear those adventurers I was telling you about. Don't be too rude to him, all right? Well, I wouldn't dream of it. She kind of looks down at you all. So you're the adventurers from Mead's Run, huh?
I wouldn't say we're from Mead's Run, but that's the first place that we found after we woke up.
Yes, Delphine did tell me that you were kind of lost in your minds a little bit.
We heard that there were some children that were found that were escaping Mead's Run. We were hoping we could talk to them.
Yes, they're taking a little nap right now. However, if you guys want to come in, we can cook you up some food and you can make your way around and we'll kind of get you all settled in. How does that sound, loves?
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Excellent. She kind of signals for you guys to come inside and she walks into the hunter's home. Two of the guards that had been accompanying you stay behind and they hold on to the reins of the horses as you guys get off and then they start carrying them back off.
I mean, can we see most of the town from here, or is it like tall
You can
buildings,
see
short buildings? Is it
a
large?
rather large town. You can see a large portion of the town. There's a lot of wooden buildings, a few smokestacks of white smoke coming out of what appear to be some chimneys. There's a few interesting building designs. One of them looks to be a much larger structure heading upwards, probably about 3 floors. There's some interesting building designs here, but it appears to be a relatively smaller city.
What does she want?
She wants
I
attention.
must be very excited.
That wholesome cat content.
Yeah.
Still
You're
yelling.
ignoring me.
I'm gonna let her out of my room real quick because I think that's what she wants.
Yeah. I was just like, I hear meowing, right?
Yeah, I love Mouse.
So cute. Oh, man. Cool.
Yeah, that's why I
just
don't want to play this game anymore. Oh, sorry, Spencer, you're back.
Yes.
Joking.
Smart ass. All of a sudden, Zogamar falls over deathly ill.
Oh no!
Like,
Ah!
I was
So,
gonna ask if any of the town seems familiar at all.
it does not. To
Delightful.
any of you.
Great. Amazing. Wonderful. What are we eating?
None of you seem to be that familiar with it. Actually, Zogamar, you have like slight familiarity to it, but you don't feel like comfortable in it, if that makes sense.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you guys like kind of look around and you're taking in all the buildings and stuff, you do see some townsfolks kind of staring at you. A couple rush their kids off, and they all just kind of scatter off into the buildings.
I smile extremely wide at all of them.
Beautiful.
Just a little bit of fangs. Just a little.
All of a sudden, the door opens up behind you, and you just hear, "Well, come on, then. You coming or not?"
Yep, we're right behind you.
Just closes the door. All right, so you guys make your way into the building, I'm assuming.
I'm like,
We're like,
lovely place you got here.
As you walk in, you look around and you see that you're in this like entrance hall. It's a beautiful foyer. There's a fireplace burning really hot in one side. There are a couple of different couches. There's trophies mounted on the walls on either side. Some pretty impressive things. You notice a large elk-like creature with silver fur that you can assume is a moon elk from the stories that Delphin told you up on the wall. You look around and you see a really large lizard's head. Not same design as yours, Kathana. Just it appears to be a lot more wicked, a little bit wider and flatter. And its mouth is open, and you see like rows of sharp, tiny teeth, and then a long, flat tongue, kind of just below that. And its eyes are on either side of its head, looking forward. Those are the two that really stand out to you the most. The rest are just like normal deer. There's a crocodile's head.
Can I
Yeah.
touch any of them?
Yeah,
Your
you can
walls of-
absolutely do that. However, I will say Tilquin is sitting there staring at you, and she's looking at you guys. Look around, and she's like, "Well, come on,
I just
make
want
sense."
to. I want to pet the moon elk.
Your walls of dead things is very macabre.
You pet the moon elk. Its fur is kind of not very soft. It feels kind of plasticky, as though something's there to preserve it.
That was unsatisfying.
Well, come on, loves. Come on in and have a seat, and we can go ahead and talk.
All right.
Do you know who we are?
No, I've never met you all before in my life.
We have to ask anyways.
No, that's completely reasonable. I mean, I did hear from Dalfin that you lost your memories. Is that the case?
Yep, total
Yep.
blank slate.
I see that. But as I do know from the note left behind by the people at Meads Run before we were able to get down there to help them out, I assume that you all are the adventurers rather than the evil force coming to burn it down.
We hope so.
Allegedly.
Is that safe to assume?
Yes.
Hopefully.
We did have a
I-
run-in with one survivor who perished minutes later, but she recognized us and said that we were supposed to protect. So I think that we were protectors to at least some people.
It also seemed like we were
Interesting.
in that forest for a long time. Before
Also-
we
Very
woke
old.
up.
Very odd indeed. Well, I noticed that you don't have too much gear on yourselves.
Nope.
That broken sword looks kind of sad, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I agree.
Well, Stagwood here is a place of many things, but we like to be generous with those that have less. However, we do believe in rewarding hard work. I would say that we could reward you for what you did for the town. However, you didn't really protect the town, now did you?
Just
Ouch.
yeah. You're pushing it a little bit.
No, I'm sorry. I've got to be blunt. I'm a
If
female half elf in a primarily human city, and I'm the leader here. I've got to be tough. I've got to be straightforward. I've got to be blunt. Sorry if it
And-
rubs you the wrong way a little bit.
in
That's fine, but
truth, if we were the ones defending the town, we did fail. The town is gone.
This is true. I didn't mean to. I just am considering myself a different person than the person who failed, which might not be fair, but
No.
since
That's
I don't have any of that person's memories, or I have very few of that person's memories, it's
Also, tact is something a leader should have. No offense.
some taken. But as I sit there
It's
and
some was taken with me too, so then we're fair.
sounds like an eye for an eye to me. She holds out a hand to you.
I shake it.
Well, I do have a bit of work for you. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to send my guards out to do this sort of work, and none of the hunters are currently feeling up to it. Would you, if you were to help me out with this, I'd be so kind as to give you all some supplies to send you on your way.
what is required?
Well, as I'm sure Dolphin has told you, we're a bit of a hunting town out here, but we do like to try and maintain the balance of the ecosystem, make sure nothing's hunted too far. And I'm sure he's told you that we have a few issues with poachers. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah.
Yes, you'd like us to track some poachers?
If you'd be so kind, there have been some poachers in the woods lately. We didn't really know about it until yesterday, in fact. How fortuitous for you all. A group of travelers came through here from Storm Bay, and they had on them some albino moon elk pelts. And it's very strange because there's not a whole lot of albino moon elk, and we don't really sell any albino moon elk pelts. So someone clearly over in Storm Bay must be hiring some poachers to procure them.
Ooh.
And albino moon elk are much more rare than traditional moon elk. And they're kind of becoming far and few between. So if you would be so kind as to head into the mist-veiled forest, a little bit, it'll be northmost of where you were originally, back near Meads Run. But there's a lake over there, and a few travelers had said that they had seen a moon elk in that area before. Chances are the poachers would probably head over in that area looking for another albino moon elk so they could sell the pelt. If you guys would be so kind as to head up there, get some information on these poachers, find out who they're working for. If they give you any trouble, of course, you can kill them, but I'll leave that discretion up to you.
Just so we're clear, you want us to go do this before you give us any supplies. So we're gonna go stalk some dangerous people, possibly, in these scraps of clothes with a broken weapon as our only protection.
Well, if I give you the stuff now, how do I know you'll go off and do it? We'll give you food for your journey, and we'll give you a couple of tents, but that's about it.
I mean, I don't understand if we're to do this for you successfully. We need to feel some sort of protection for ourselves, and assuming that we are capable of doing this thing. And without any armor or one damaged weapon doesn't instill a lot of confidence to be able to go do something like this with no memories of who we are.
Or our skills or anything. I mean, Kaithana looked pretty good with that sword, but yeah, I'm literally in rags.
And at the moment,
With some claws?
We're more concerned about who we are and what we're doing. And if there's no guarantee of any sort of benefit to doing this, I don't see value in it.
Perhaps we could maybe just get some minor gear from in town with a loan or something, like the kind of gear that we would bring. I mean, I understand that you don't trust us to come back afterwards, but the first people that we came across, we immediately joined them and were brought to safety in this city. So I think that we've proven, at least so far, that we're not ones to run off and take people's things. But I understand you wouldn't want to give us expensive gear right away for this job. Perhaps we could just have a couple of things.
Well, you did do it because there's some bit of advantage for you now, isn't there? There's 2 little kids here in this building, in fact, that may know you. You came here with them because you wanted your memories. That's not very instilling. That there was something in it for you. That's why you came back. And that's what I'm kind of basing this all off of. There's something in it for you to come back with this information, which is why I had to bring you back, is my thought process.
Yes,
Well,
but
if-
we can't help you if we die, is what
Yeah,
I'm saying. I
along the-
don't mind helping. I love helping. But also, I like living. So, even if it's just maybe some cheap armor, or even clothes that aren't ripped, would be great. You know? Just
Yeah.
anything?
Along that same logic, regardless of what you give us, we're motivated to come back to talk to these children. So clearly, stealing objects is not the issue here. It's getting information. So regardless of what you give us, by that line of logic, we're going to come back anyway.
So you're willing to postpone meeting these children until you come back from this?
I
think so.
I mean, that makes sense.
Are we
That
not
makes
allowed to speak
logical
to children
sense.
unless we do this mission for you?
Well, if you want the armor and the weapons and stuff before you head out, I'm gonna have to keep something of value to you, and those memories of what those children could or could not know could be very important to me in getting you back here. Is that not true? You yourself just said a second ago that having those children here and those memories could be beneficial to you and would bring you back. Those were your words.
Yeah. But to me, those memories are more valuable than armor. So I don't need to go on this mission to possibly fail and gain some sort of objects, as opposed to a sure thing, which is talking to these children and knowing possibly who I am.
Hmm.
So if you're trying to barter with who I am as a person, I'm not comfortable with this.
I actually am going to have to agree with Kaithana on this.
If collateral is what you're looking for, I hold out my rock piece. This is my only possession.
Well,
We have nothing to cause any unrest or any disloyalty. You can speak with the captain. We were very helpful in camp. We helped collect the bodies. We offered to help with the burial. I understand you've never met us, so I understand there's some concern. That's warranted. But you're putting a lot of assumptions onto us that I think are just not useful in this moment.
I did not say that you had to do this, love. What I did say was I would be willing to give you some equipment and to send you on your way with if you were to help me with this. And you can meet the children. You yourself said that the children would bring you back, so I offered to let you have this gear to go do this, and then to make sure you come back. The children would be able to talk to you before that. If you don't want to take the mission, that's totally fine. You can speak with the children. But if you want to do this, and you want that equipment before you head out, you'll have to wait till you get back to speak with the children. Does that make sense to you? I'm not trying to keep them from you. I'm not trying to keep these memories from you. I'm trying to ensure that my investment does not go to waste.
We do need supplies before we do anything.
I agree.
I mean, I would not feel comfortable going outside and doing anything without even proper clothing. You know?
Yes. If we
Also,
Oh,
I'm
the
the only one
clothing.
that
The
didn't.
clothing will take care of no matter what, hon. That's something that we will do for you now. In fact, we've actually
That-
already got clothes coming from the guard's house for you all.
That is so kind of you, Telquin. It's Telquin, correct?
Tilquin, yes.
Telquin. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. We do really appreciate. We definitely would like to help you. We don't want.
You don't need to kiss my
handouts.
ass, son.
Yeah, I feel like we are speaking freely now, and just to kind of sum everything up, we can either speak with the children and learn who we are, and then fend for ourselves with no money and no equipment. Whether we take the job or not, we leave here with no equipment at that point, or we we gain the equipment, go out and do the job, and come back and talk to the children.
Mhm.
So I want to know who I am, but I am gaining little bits and pieces here and there, and frankly, if whatever the children say might even discourage me from taking this mission. So I think I'm in the best place right now to take it with the equipment that we're being offered.
Also, one thing that I can say to you all is that there's no guarantee what these children know. They went through a trauma. There's no guarantee that they remember you. There's no guarantee they will even be capable of speaking.
And
Very true.
perhaps giving them some time would be good.
That's true.
I don't mean any offense, and I don't plan on keeping these memories from you if they are there. I'm just trying to protect myself and my investments. Is that understandable to you, madam?
It is. It's just a strange barter. One that I assume have never ventured into.
I've never done a barter like this as well. It's very strange for me too. But I have a task that I need done. I have stuff that you need. It's quid pro quo, I believe is the term.
I know this is mostly an intel mission, but I would definitely feel more comfortable getting our supplies first.
Yep.
Maybe give the kids a few days. I mean, if we barge
agree.
in right now, there's no telling what we'd find out. They might not even be able to talk to us right now.
How many days ago did they arrive in town?
They arrived here about 3 days ago.
Okay.
They were very shaken. And as I was really taken to caring for them, I noticed that they had some burn marks on their body, and they were kind of... It was really sad. It was very, very sad.
These two children are the only people that survived in that whole village.
The only people that have survived that we found.
I'm open to going on this mission. I just don't want to do it without any equipment. And if you're concerned that the children are not ready to be spoken to right now, there's nothing I can do about that. So if we must wait, we might as well do something. But I think going without equipment is unreasonable.
I would agree with that.
So I think it's settled.
All right. Let's gear up and go track some poachers then.
What gear do we get?
She kind of snaps her finger twice, and not one of the guards from that was leading you guys back comes out, but a different guard. You can tell by the scarf and the clothing and the padding that they're wearing. Comes out with a cart on wheels that has a great sword across the top. It's not like anything super fancy. It just looks like a standard great sword.
One that's not cracked.
One that's not cracked or chipped, and there's no sigil on the pommel.
Sure.
I
mean, like, I'm gonna keep mine, but
yeah. There are 2 short swords and 2 daggers. There is a chainmail on the bottom and 2 sets of leather armor. And she kind of looks at you all and goes, "This is the total of what we were able to gather and get for you all. Do you think this will be enough to treat you all well?"
Hope so.
do I feel like I can support chainmail?
You're wearing some damaged plate mail already. I don't see why you couldn't.
Interesting. I will grab the chainmail and put it on.
Okay, you officially have chainmail.
I don't mean to make assumptions or anything, but I don't see myself being one to use a sword. So I would, if I could have one of the leather armors in rather than have any kind of weapon, I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can I do some kind of check to see if I'm particularly drawn to anything in this little pile?
Make an insight check.
New dice. That's good. 19.
Woo!
Wait, insight?
Insight.
Do you have
Have
that?
I done an insight check yet? I don't think
I don't think you have. So what was the roll? A 19?
Yeah.
Ready. With your 20, you're kind of looking at this setup of gear. You feel pretty confident that you could use a dagger if you wanted to. And you're looking at the leather armor and you think, oh, hey, that could actually be really useful.
Oh, and then with my chainmail, do I now know what my armor class is or no?
Because let's see. Chainmail doesn't give you the dex bonus, does it?
No.
+2, up to 2.
Chainmail, I thought is 16 no matter what.
Chainmail. Oh, I might be confusing with half chain.
Yeah, scale and
Yeah, half chain is the one that gives you the dex bonus. Yeah, no, you know that you're at a 16 now.
Okay.
so that means I don't have that. My dex is a 0 plus 0.
Well,
Wait.
chainmail has no.
Hold on one second.
I
Don't look at
don't
your
know
character
how
sheet
that
for a
works.
second.
Oh, I'm not looking at fantasy. Are you mean on Fantasy Grounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking at Fantasy Grounds. Because I know if it's 16, that means I have a dex bonus. That's what I'm asking. I'm trying to be sneaky, okay?
okay.
No, you're fine. Chainmail does not give you any benefits from your dex.
No, but I'm saying, oh, yeah, you're right. So it's just 16 no matter what, and if I got any bonuses, it would be from a shield or from
Correct.
ring or whatever. So
Correct.
right now my armor class is 16.
Mhm.
Okay.
Total newbie question.
Shoot.
I don't know how the armor math works. That's not something I
We
looked
can
up
we
today.
can get into that off camera.
Okay,
There's a
great. I'm
bar.
gonna take the leather
Okay.
Yeah.
and the dagger.
Leather and a dagger.
Yeah.
Is it 12 plus dex?
We'll figure it out. Probably.
12 plus dex for leather armor.
Regular leather is 11 plus dex.
11 plus dex. I was close.
11 plus dex. Okay,
I believe so. Studded leather is 12, I think. I should know this. I use mostly leather armor and all my
Okay.
other characters.
So my armor's not great. Awesome. I chose my favorite color, and it doesn't want to write today.
Alrighty. So what is everyone grabbing?
I grabbed the set of leather armor and the dagger.
Gotcha.
I'll take the. It's a great sword there.
Yep.
Okay. And I assume it's not a D6 because it's not damage.
Correct.
Delightful. Where are my other notes? Where are you? Okay.
Oh, it looks like it's pretty much the same as if I use my claws.
So what is the great sword? I need to look it up. Is it a D8? D10? Is it like D8/D10 for one-handed versus two-handed?
Let me actually double check for you real quick. It's on your character sheet now, by the way.
Oh.
It's 2d6.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't think I've actually ever used a great sword. However.
Okay. But yeah, no, if you look at your character sheets, I'm putting everything that you guys got onto there.
Amazing. Did
Cool.
not-
Zogamar, what are you getting?
I guess I'll just kind of look at Lockdown and be like, is it all right if I take the remaining leather armor?
Lockdown just kind of looks down. I feel it would be appropriate to cover your meat suit.
Appreciate that. And Lockdown, do you have a particular draw toward a sword or a dagger? Because there's two of those, and each of us could probably take one.
I was gonna say it doesn't hurt just to take something, and even if you don't use it, it's better than not having it at all.
Lockdown just kind of looks. I will take whatever's left.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a great sword. Longfang took a dagger. Do you want to just take a short sword too? Just
Yeah.
one?
What, Longfang or me?
Anyone.
I'll take the sword.
There's 2 short swords and
Yep.
2 daggers.
Oh, I thought there was one short sword. Okay.
I believe there's 2.
There are 2.
So like I would just say like let's just take it all. Let's just divvy it up. Take it all.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to figure out who's taking what.
Yeah.
So Longfang's getting a short sword, or are you just sticking with the dagger?
Me?
Yeah, because there's 2 short swords, 2 daggers. Leather armor's been distributed. Chainmail greatsword have been distributed.
You didn't say I looked like I could use a sword, so I didn't pick it up.
That's fine.
Um.
You don't have to pick it up if you don't want to. I'm just making
Yeah.
it aware.
I think I'm just gonna stick with this. For
Okay.
now.
Alrighty. So
Take a sword and a
lockdown.
dagger.
I'll take the remaining sword and dagger.
Question.
Zogamar took the dagger.
There was
Should
only
we-
one dagger. I thought there was 2.
There were 2 daggers.
I'll take-
Longfang took the other one.
Oh,
Lo-
Zogamar took it.
Lockdown. As you reach out for the sword with your left hand, from your palm, as you extend your left arm, this little circular hole appears at the very base of your palm, and a very long pole comes shooting out and kind of clambers around all over the place, knocks the sword off of the cart, knocks the cart over, and just kind of like comes to the ground in like a ping, 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 and then starts to roll around.
How long is it?
It appears to be about 6 feet long.
I'm sorry.
I smell monk.
I appear to have dropped my metal shaft. I shall, and I just like try to pick it up, fumbling. It is so large.
Um,
I'm sorry.
It's about 4 inches shorter than you are.
Cool. Great. Amazing. Moving on.
I'll
Yeah.
take this, then I'll grab the short sword and dagger if this guy's just producing weapons.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
Got any more of those in there? No, I'm just kidding.
Lockdown's like extending his arm, seeing if like he can just make more.
No more appear to be coming out.
I have reached my limit.
Um. Oh, I'm really debating on whether I should get that sword now. No, I'm gonna go on my instincts. No, no sword.
And that,
As you're messing around with the lockdown, you kind of twist the bow staff in a way that both ends kind of shrink down to their normal height, like to a little short height about the length of your forearm, and you just kind of like slide it back into the hole and it closes up.
Neat.
Oh,
That'll
That is
come in
weird.
handy.
Okay, just because I'm uncertain. So Zogomar, what weapon did you take? Did you?
I had the short sword and a short sword and a dagger.
Okay, and then lockdown isn't taking anything.
Nope.
Are you?
No.
Okay. And Long Fang.
I took a dagger and the leather armor.
Okay, so I'll just take the remaining short sword
Okay.
because maybe I can wield 2 weapons. I don't know. I don't know anything.
We know nothing.
Alrighty. So you guys divvy up the equipment, and
Leaving a leather armor. Are you wearing a leather armor, Zogomar, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do big leather. Okay.
so you guys divvy up all the armor and the weapons and stuff, and after the clamoring and everything happens, Tilquin just kind of looks over at you all and just goes, "Well, I do believe there appears to be everything is sorted. Yeah?
Yeah.
Believe so.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if you just head to the northwest a little ways, up along the edge of the Mistveiled Forest, you'll find a lake, and that is the lake that the albino Munich has been known to be around lately.
Okay, so we're to go and find information and come back?
Yes, please.
Sorry, did
and-
you say how far away it was?
It's about a day's and a half journey.
Okay.
All right. I guess there's having no money and no other resources. Nothing else to do in this town. So let's
But
head out.
alongside all that, we'll go ahead and give you about a week's worth of supplies, and a couple horses to carry you on your way to make it easier.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And also take one of these. And she hands you 2 branches, very similar to the twigs that you saw Delphine had. A white yew twig with wire tightly wound around it, and a gem set on top of it. She goes, "This is a branch that will allow you to send me a message up to 25 words, and I'll be able to respond to it with the same number of words. We call them sending branches, based off the spell sending. And you'll know how many words you have based off of how much the twig is burned."
Wonderful.
Okay, perfect.
And she hands you 2 of them.
Oh, sorry. What time of day is it right now?
It is late afternoon, early evening.
Okay, so we're probably not. I mean, we can start now, but we don't have to.
Maybe
we-
we should
We
go
can.
in the morning.
Or go in the morning. Cool.
Would that be all right? Do we have lodging? Tilquin?
Well, I am the leader of this town. I can probably set you up on a tab over at the lodge. It's the large building over to the front of town, near the gate that you guys came in on. It's about 3 stories tall. It has a large red roof. You guys remember the building with like the 3 floors and stuff. It's what we've got as far as a inn for the city. The owner's kind of nice. She's kind of rude too sometimes, though.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
But she'll take care of you for the night if I say so. We're good friends. We go way back.
All right.
Just for one night, and then we'll move at first light.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I wish you all a good night. Here, go ahead and take this with you to the lodge and present it to her. Her name is Esmeralda. She'll be able to help you out, and you'll be able to see, and she'll see that and know that I sent you.
Oh.
And she kind of hands you this little discus kind of looking thing, almost like a button, except made out of clay. And it's got like a silly face drawn onto it. It's kind of odd. It's not really something that you would expect the leader of a city to hand you as a token of payment for an inn.
What was the inn's name again?
The lodge.
And what exactly does the silly face look like?
It looks kind of like a.
Like
You
which
wouldn't
one?
really know that. It kind of looks like it has buttons for eyes, except instead of like actual buttons, it's drawn on, and then like a mouth that's kind of stitched up but is smiling.
Oh, it's
like-
freaking Coraline.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
I was
like
gonna say.
weirdly, Kaifana, it looks just like your mother.
Except
You
it's not
remember
like
your mother.
human. It's
Like,
not.
all of
It's
a
not.
sudden.
It's not like particularly humanoid. Like there's no nose. It's just like button eyes and then a stitched up mouth.
Perfect. So let's go to the lodge, meet Esmeralda, and hand her the little Tim Burton statue.
Great.
Ah, the statue of Bert and Tim.
Okay. Well, have a wonderful night, and if I don't see you in the morning, best of luck.
I remember transcribing Frankenweenie into Elvish.
What a tale
Oh.
that was.
Superior play.
Y'all need to stop making me laugh so hard right now.
All right. So you guys make your way off to the lodge, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. You guys begin making your way off to the lodge, and it's not that hard to find, especially Zogamar and Longfang. You guys have a pretty easy time navigating through the city as the light kind of lowers. Kathana locked down. It's fairly dimly lit. There's some torches and sconces on people's buildings. As you guys make your way through town, there are some people that kind of like look at you curiously. Some of them that are kind of like suspicious of you as you're making your way through. And then you get to the entrance to the lodge. You see a sign that says "The Lodge" very plainly up above the front door. It doesn't really seem to be the most welcoming of places. And as you walk in, you do see what appears to be a small tavern on the first floor. And there's a rather large dwarvish woman sitting behind the counter. And you hear, "What do you want?"
Hi, are you Esmeralda? Or
Esmeralda, Gem of the West. Pleasure to meet you, love.
Pleasure to meet you too. We've been sent here by your friend Tailquin.
Tailquin?
And- yeah, and perhaps.
Why would she
procuring-
send you here?
Oh, we just need a place to stay for the night. We're leaving in the morning on a mission to find some poachers.
Well, rooms for the night are 3 silver pieces per room.
I
What
hand her
if
the
we have a
little,
discus?
the little Tim Burton statue.
Little Coraline.
Will this give us a disc count?
Whoa!
Hey Spence, I quit.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hey,
What's the
Roderick, I need you to make me I need you to roll 2d4 for me.
Gotcha.
Oh, pun cause psychic damage.
Damn it. What is this? I can't see my dice. That's 6 total.
As you say that, you see her kind of and also as you say it, you kind of have this what appears to be like a soft green but with gold kind of twinkling off of it aura kind of leave your mouth a little bit and wrap around her and also everyone in the party. I need everyone to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh,
What was
great.
that? Like a vicious mockery or something? Like what was it? Or Tasha's hideous laughter or something? What are we rolling? Wisdom something?
I need
Wisdom
to stop
saves.
rolling in this thing that I have. 'Cause, it was
Ah!
close to a nat 20, and instead it's an 8.
Oh, what do they need to be?
That's what you're about to
Ooh.
find out.
I'm
I
so
rolled a
sorry.
6, y'all.
Oh,
I'm
6.
so sorry, everyone.
I
Knowing what the
failed.
DC is doesn't actually change too much for what you know. What did you say, Longfang?
I got an 8.
You rolled an 8?
Yeah.
Ooh, your 9 does not meet the 15 requirement.
Wait, which throw is this?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Save.
Kaithana, what did you roll?
A 6.
Oh,
Your 9 does not meet the 15 save. Lockdown.
13.
Your 13 does not make the 15 save.
Oh. So I'm either proficient in it and my stat.
I think you are.
So
You all take 4 psychic damage? Or was it 6 that you said?
It was 6.
You all
my
take
God.
6 psychic damage.
from how many max hit points?
yeah.
Oh, you guys know your hit points. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I
Great.
should have
We
given
do,
that
it's
to you sooner.
news to us.
Longfang, you have 31. Kaithana, you have 44. Lockdown, you have 43. Zogamar, you have 33.
Okay. Oh yeah.
31 hit points, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I know what you are.
What I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
only 2
I think so,
classes have
too.
that out of hit points.
God damn it.
good.
Yeah, so you guys all take 6 damage from your maximum. She kind of like sits there and she just looks like she has a headache. She doesn't seem to notice the magical energy coming from your mouth. You are the only one that truly noticed it, along with Longfang also noticed that you did it, just because of passive perceptions. And you're just kind of like looking at each other as you cover your mouth, and she's like, "Oh, I've got a wicked headache now. Oh, but clearly, if she gave you this," she starts to smile as she looks at it. "Yeah, go ahead." And she hands you each. How many rooms do you need for the nights?
How many beds are in a room?
There's 2 beds per room.
2's fine.
Yeah.
She pulls out 2 sets of keys and sets them down on the table. "Go on, then, get out of here. I'm developing a migraine, it feels like." She pulls
was
out a
gonna say,
big old
she's
bottle
supposed
of
to
whiskey,
drink
sets it
the
down, starts
comfort.
pouring it, and starts drinking it.
Oh,
I'm,
sorry.
this might be pushing it a little bit, but I'm gonna say to her, I hope you feel better.
Okay.
And does she feel better?
She just kind of like waves her hand at you and just goes, "Go on, go on." Also, as you guys like were sitting there watching her like have this migraine stuff, you notice that she like isn't as hairy as most dwarven women are. She appears to be like really well kempt. Her skin's not as leathery either. It's pretty well moisturized, considering like her heritage from her species. Her hair is well washed. It's long brown hair, but her voice is still that raspy, rugged, dwarvish sound that you're familiar with. So how are you guys splitting up the rooms for the night?
I understand if no one wants to sleep in the room with me because apparently when I say awkward things, people get hurt. But I promise I can almost certainly promise that I will not make any more bad puns.
Well, I think you can. Just make sure you direct them to a specific individual. And you should-
Okay. Gotcha.
Rather than presenting them to the whole room.
Did you like?
Which-
Did they kill just a bunch of commoners in that tavern? They have like 4 hit points, right?
Yeah, that was like 16.
No,
No.
you didn't. There wasn't anyone else in the tavern. Like you would,
Good.
you would normally
Oh, thank
expect to see
goodness.
more people in the tavern, but there's not really anyone hanging out.
Just kidding.
Oof.
Well, do you guys feel...
Maybe I could share a room with Kaithana. I feel like I've ridden a horse next to next to Lockdown. I've shared maybe a similar past with Longfang. So Kaithana and I haven't had a chance to talk.
Sure.
Looks like it's me and you locked down.
Longfang and I will quality time.
That sounds wonderful, my friend.
Okay. And you guys go off to your rooms. The rooms are fairly nice. They're well kept. You walk in, they smell clean. A little bit musky, just because like you imagine not a whole lot of people stay in these rooms because of the lack of hospitality in the area. Is there anything you guys would like to do before bed?
I want to see if I am able to heal myself.
Okay.
Perhaps by laying hands on myself.
Perhaps.
Yes.
So like you're kind of rubbing your temple as you sit there.
Just headache.
Yeah, because headache. Nothing seems to be happening.
Oh, what am I?
Percentage dice, boys and girls, to see if anything happens.
Mm.
Come on, please.
Is there water in the room?
There's a small washing basin.
I'd like to maybe see if I can repeat what happened at the stream a few days ago.
Make a charisma check for me.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's good. 18 charisma, you said?
Yep.
18, what was it? Plus I don't remember how much it was plus because it wiped off.
So you're 22. You
Okay.
begin messing around with the water basin. Hold on one second.
You said 22?
Yes, 22. And as you're kind of messing around with it, you feel this, like, you feel this movement that you do, kind of where you take one hand, slide it under the water, dip your other hand in, and then you're able to all of a sudden lift the water up. And you lower it back in, and you move your hands in a way that causes the water to spin almost like a whirlpool in the water basin in front of you. Lockdown, you do see him doing this.
Lockdown's just like copying his movements behind his back.
And in the back of your head, you hear these two words. Actually, you hear a couple words that say, "Today we are going to learn how to ship water. Please pay attention, class." And then silence.
Okay.
I do have one other thing I would like to try.
Shoot.
Right now?
Describe
So,
the
like,
action that your character is doing.
Yeah. So, like, I just want to be able to, you know, I know we're going to be here for the night, but who knows what could happen between now and then. I'd like to sit and possibly rest for about an hour. Take a short rest, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
gain back some hit points by rolling a hit die of some
Oh, clever.
amount.
You're so
Whatever.
clever.
Hey, I didn't make the game. I'm just playing it.
Make a Constitution save for me.
Ugh. A Constitution save.
Constitution saving throw.
I don't know why, but okay. Oh, it's so bad. Why does it keep happening? 8.
Girl, same.
You said an 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus your 2. That's a 10 total. You sit there and you try and... Yeah, 10 total for your Constitution saving throw. You're sitting there next to what you assume is going to be your bed for the night, trying to take a short rest and meditate and focus in on yourself. And as you are sitting there, your head just kind of starts drifting off as you kind of lay back and fall asleep, shoulder up against the bed, head up against the cushion of the bed.
Do I not use a hit dice?
You do not get to use a hit dice because you have fallen asleep for your long rest.
Rude!
Because you had a long day of writing. You had a very long day of writing.
I'll tuck her in. Just grab the blanket.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm so mad.
You tuck her in. You'll have an opportunity to figure that out in the future. Don't worry. I'm just trying
so
not to
mad.
have too much revealed for you.
Um,
So close.
as they start to go to bed, Lockdown, having seen this happen every night, starts to gather things for a fire.
Lockdown? Lockdown.
He's
You
like
see
putting the
him.
nightstand.
You see him as
What-
like
what
he
do you-
slowly breaks off parts of the nightstand and like begins
Hey,
putting them in a pile.
lockdown. Lockdown?
Yes.
We don't-
Longfang?
We don't break furniture.
Oh. So should I set fire to the whole thing?
We don't need a fire. We're inside, my friend.
So inside does not need. Downstairs there was fire.
Did you not notice the stone encasing in the fireplace?
So
that the-
inside fire is only okay with stone.
We don't want the building to burn down.
Understandable. I thought it was weird, but
We're inside the building. We don't want it to burn down.
yes, but do we not need fire for sleep?
Not necessarily. I guess.
Okay. I will make note of this.
Okay.
No fire inside. No more.
No
Fire
fire
inside.
inside. No fire
Yeah,
inside.
as a rule, unless we tell you otherwise.
Is anyone else doing
Okay.
anything before bed?
Can't think of any other sneaky things to
Well,
try
you're
to.
asleep,
to
so you
fix
can't do
whatever-
anything.
Yeah.
Can I just try to fix whatever lockdown just broke?
Yeah, how easily did I snap that leg up?
You
How
snapped it
strong
off
am I?
pretty easily.
So I'm pretty strong.
You're pretty strong.
All right.
Long Fang. Make a.
I'm just worried. We're staying here for free, man.
Make a wisdom check. Make a wisdom check.
Oh no, I'm not that great at that. This dice likes me better. Okay, that's it. 18 plus for
All
insight.
right.
Plus
So a
one?
19.
19.
It's a wisdom, standard wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a 19, you do manage to figure out like how you can prop it up to make it look like nothing's been damaged. You get them into like the little, you manage to wedge them together and like set it down so that way it's nice and steady, and then you kind of climb back into bed slowly.
Tell no one. Lockdown.
Yes.
Don't touch it. It will fall
Very
over.
well.
Okay, and we tell no one.
Which way does the door open?
Door opens inward.
All right. I want to stand for my rest just behind where the door would open.
Mhm.
So if someone was to come in, they would not see me.
Okay, so long thing as you kind of lay down and go to bed, you hear Lockdown kind of move around, and then you roll over and look over at the bed,
Just see
and
the
he's just not
glowing
there.
lights.
And you kind of like look around the room, and you just see from the darkest corner of the entire room two glowing eyes just staring at you.
I love Warforged. They're so uncomfortable.
Do you like to watch?
No response. He's shut down.
He's just still staring.
Great. So Longfang would like to grab the sheet or blanket off whatever other bed is there and just throw it over him so I can't see his eyes.
You do that.
We were all
Um,
thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
However, there's not
staring
really
at
any
me.
blankets. There's only like a couple sheets on these beds, some like wool sheets, and so you toss it over. And as you go like back to lay down and look back, you can still see the slight outline of the eyes through the sheet. However, it's much less disconcerting.
No. Warforged do not have dark vision. He cannot see you.
He cannot
It just
see
looks
you.
like he can.
It just
I
looks
don't
like-
know that. There's glowing eyes staring at me.
It's
I love it.
I mean, as much as I love people staring at me,
And
maybe not while I'm sleeping.
As you go and rest for the night, we ourselves are going to take a short rest. However, it's not going to last quite as long as it would in game, where it's going to be an hour. We're probably going to take about 10 minutes. Everybody's going to go get some water, take a moment to breathe, and we'll be back in a couple minutes, folks. I forgot to make a graphic for the waiting, we're on break thing.
Oh,
So I'm just going to put up the
whoever's
stream will
here-
begin.
Yeah, whoever's here, we'll just keep him entertained.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that works too.
All right, so who takes first shift?
Who's taking first watch?
We all take first shift.
Bye.
All right. So
Help at it.
with the 10 minutes having passed and the short rest having and the long rest having been completed, you guys all wake up the next day, and you feel rejuvenated and well rested.
Great. So we're back at full health, I'm assuming.
Yes, you are.
Sorry about that.
You are funny.
Thank you. I was trying to be funny. Didn't know that. I don't know if you saw, but there was like a little green magic coming out of my mouth situation. So I think I think I'll be learning a little bit more about that soon. But I'll definitely be more careful with my words.
Don't and see what else you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Longfang and Lockdown, are you guys having any morning conversations before you head out?
No, Lockdown's been up for a solid 2 hours before Longfang gets up.
Also, that's probably true.
Sheet's still on his head. Just
Confused as to why everything's blurry.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that he's still asleep when I wake up.
Oh, he's
thing-
moved. He's moved around a little bit,
You've
I'm
moved?
guessing.
he's on the other side of the door.
On the other side of the door, and I'm gonna just look at him like, okay, and I'm gonna go and I'm going to take off the sheet.
It's like the fucking Haunting of Hill House or something.
truly terrified. Just like,
The statue moved.
what's gonna be underneath? I don't know.
All right.
Good morning,
Um,
Longfang.
so-
How are you?
Jesus. If you were awake, why didn't you move the sheet?
I was. That's a good question. I assumed it was some form of game that friends do.
Oh, I can't.
You know, it is absolutely a game friends do, Lockdown. My turn, ready?
Oh, it's like playing with a toddler. It's so cute.
Lockdown just accidentally smothers someone one night because he thinks it's a game.
It's a game that friends do.
Quiet, Spence.
We need
Let
him
our
to
innocence be cute.
we need him to assassinate someone. We just tell him, go play that game. Go play that game with the senator.
Yeah.
Holy
Evil campaign? No. Okay.
All right. So you guys wake up. What are y'all doing?
Breakfast.
So
Probably the
Kaithana,
last
you
person to
start
wake
heading
up.
out to breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Yeah, I'll follow for sure.
Okay.
I'll join them.
Okay.
I probably ran out of the room ready to just bang on their door and then see everybody's already up and be like, you're no fun. Just skulk my way downstairs.
That's reasonable. So you go like to knock on the door and it like swings open a little bit. You see that their beds are disheveled and they're not in there, and you're just kind of make your way downstairs.
Slink my way downstairs, just like, dang.
As each of you on your own time make your way downstairs, the atmosphere is still relatively the same. However, now there's this scent of cinnamon and other various spices wafting through the air. Smells delicious. Smells incredible. And as you come sit down, you see like this little window behind the bar that leads into a kitchen that was dark last night because no one was cooking, but it's now lit up today. And you see the dwarvish woman, kind of Esmeralda, that you met the night before, come up what appear to be a few stairs in front of the window. And she looks through and she goes, Now, everyone, go ahead and have a seat. Your breakfast is taken care of. And she slinks back down into the kitchen. Couple minutes pass. A few more minutes pass. Door swings open and she walks out with 4 plates of what appear to be French toast, of all things. And she comes over, lays them down in front of each of you, and you're looking at it. You notice that there's some blueberries on top. There's a couple strips of bacon off to the side, and a piece of toast that you can't quite tell what kind of bread it is, but it looks like it could be rye. Yeah, looks delicious. Smells incredible.
I dig it.
Go ahead and eat up.
I wolf it down, like fast, and I look at Lockdown. You gonna finish that?
Lockdown looks at the plate and goes, I do not eat.
I I slowly slide the plate over to me while just staring at him, like waiting for him to stop me.
Seeing you do that, he just goes over to your plate and slowly starts dragging it to himself.
Yeah, it's completely empty. Zogomar, Kaithana, you're watching this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I just keep eating.
So you all eat, and you feel super rejuvenated, except for Lockdown, who did not eat. You all can go ahead and mark down 6 temporary hit points for yourselves.
Whoa.
Do I get 12? Because I ate Lockdown's food too.
No, you do not. I
Nice try.
do want you to make a
Ask the
Constitution
questions.
saving throw, though.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Touch carbs.
Great.
Coma. Save against coma.
Oh no.
Nat 20.
Ooh. So with
This
your
dice likes me.
24, you manage to stave off exhaustion as you devour this second meal.
Roll for
Nice.
And you feel yourself very stuffed and very pleased with yourself.
Question: At 3 a.m., does Longfang get the zoomies?
So last night while he was sleeping, you did see his like paws kind of flicking around and like brushing up against his own face a little bit and stuff. It was very cute. It was very cute.
So
saw it too.
actually are parents of 2 pets.
And so, as you guys like kind of come to the end of your meals, the dwarvish lady pops her head back up in the window and goes, "How'd you like it?"
It was
Wonderful.
delicious. Best
Very
food I've
good,
eaten in
good.
ages.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Now, I'm sure you guys have some very important things today, so go on, head on out. I won't be offended.
Well, thank you. We'll definitely hope to run into you again when we come back into town.
Looking forward to it.
Likewise.
Let's go get them horses.
Bird.
All right.
So I guess we probably should head back to the hunters. What is it called?
Yeah.
Hunter. Wrong page.
Lodge.
Hunter's home.
No, we're
Home.
in the lodge.
Hunter's
Yeah.
home.
Can we get to go?
Hunter's home to go get the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are horses typically kept in homes?
I don't actually know.
I don't
The
think so.
stable is essentially a home for a horse, so
That's a good point.
Hunter's home is a stable then.
I write that down. Stable is a home for a horse.
oh god.
That's actually kind of, yeah, no, that's accurate. So you guys begin making your way out of the lodge, and as you do, you hear a familiar voice call out to you. Oh, now, looks like you guys got yourselves into a bit of a adventure again, huh?
Dolphin, how's it going?
Going pretty well. It's good to see you all well rested, and I'm sure you had a nice good meal from Esmeralda. She makes some of the best breakfast food, man. I'll tell you. I've always found that woman to be just the pinnacle of hospitality.
She was very, very kind to us.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, and he points up, he shows 4 horses. We have horses here ready for you. One of these horses is mine. He whistles out. Oh, sorry. Was that
No,
super
I was
loud?
just like, oh, keep going for it.
It was fine for me.
Yeah.
Brad
it good
looked
for
like
you?
he about had
It's
a like
for anything.
shock.
It's a little sharp.
He whistles out, and as he does, you see someone kind of bring around what appears to be an ox. Now, your friend over here, we are aware that he probably wouldn't be able to ride one of these horses, so we went ahead and got him one of these fellas. He should be able to help you out in your journey.
Wait, so
Lockdown looks at this horned beast and goes, "I like this horse."
Wait,
Yeah,
so
so
are
it's saddled up and ready for him to ride alongside you guys with your horses.
I mean, Do
Lock-
ox do that?
Lockdown's
Ox can
petting
do
it.
that, yeah. Ox are herd beasts, just like horses. They move at a little bit slower pace when pushed, but if you keep it at a nice steady trot, the ox should be able to keep up with the horses.
Perfect.
Let's get out of here.
By the way, Teal Quinn doesn't know that I went through all this for you all. This is something a little bit special from me to help you guys out along your journey because I feel like we bonded a little bit.
You shouldn't have.
Ah, please, please. Add anything for you guys. You guys seem like a good, fine people, and I know you're going through a rough time right now, and so I wanted to do my part to help you out, and maybe in the future, should something come up where I could use your help, you'll remember this.
Of course.
Absolutely, man.
So it is favor for a favor.
Well, eventually, if it comes down to it. I'm not expecting you to return it. Just if something were to come up, I hope that this would help influence you to help me.
We don't need bribes to help, but
Oh, it's not a bribe. It's just a
Alright.
gesture of friendship.
I'm gonna throw my arm around Dolphin. He's just being a good friend. We can't look too many gift horses in the mouth.
or ox.
Or ox.
Gift ox. That's good.
And on that
Fuck.
note, Longfang is gonna race to the prettiest horse.
Okay. As you're looking up and down the horses, they all seem to be relatively the same, like coloration and pattern and stuff. One of them, however, just strikes you as this absolutely beautiful grayish colored horse. Similar patterns to almost your fur. It's gray with like black spots and a couple of white spots here and there, and you're just like,
It's winning and winning.
yep.
I'll take the ugly horse.
How far are we
None of the
from
horses are ugly.
The
Good.
tavern where we had
You're like only like 10, 15 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to run back in there really quick
Okay.
and go to where the kitchen is
Mhm.
and ask if they have an apple or a carrot. They wouldn't mind sparing me.
You know what? In fact, I do. She goes into the back, pulls out a small basket of Granny apples, Granny Smith apples. I'm sure you can probably tell are meant for making apple pie with. And she pulls one out and she goes, "Here you go, hon.
Thank you.
You're welcome."
And I run back out. Very serious.
Just like slowly, but also with like a little bit of a brisk pace.
And I go to, I guess there's
The one horse that's not claimed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say two, but one's an ox.
Mhm.
And I will go to my last horse,
Mhm.
and I want to make sure that it likes me. So I'm gonna feed him an apple, give him a little pet, and have a little chat.
You hold the apple up to it, and it just kind of like looks at it, kind of turns to you, and then just bites into it, and you continue like stroking its mane while it eats the rest of the apple, and it seems pretty happy with it. Seems pretty happy with you.
I'll mount the horse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You mount the horse.
Grace.
All right, so Teal Quinn gave me a few updated things. She's off dealing with stuff for the town. Unfortunately, she's not here to see you off or give you this information herself. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head straight. Once you get out the gate, you're going to want to hook a little bit of a right, head straight northwest. Once you reach the mist-veiled forest, you're going to want to head straight north, and probably about day and a half's journey total, you'll get there. And you'll be at the lake. We're not quite sure where the albino moon elk is, but we know that it's in that they tend to stick around that region. So you may have to try and track it down, find it, and look around, see if you see any poachers.
Do you have any tips or advice on what they like, what they're attracted to, or
Nocturnal or otherwise?
just
Sounds like the first step would probably be to find the moon elk. Where the moon elk go, we might be able to find some people also chasing them.
or like any known locations where herds go through?
Well, I mean, they're a migratory group of creatures, but they typically tend to come out a little bit more at night. Hence the term moon elk. Their horns are really neat. They do this little shimmer in the moonlight,
They're
and
shiny.
it's said that on a full moon, if they turn their horns just right, they can create this little tiny orb of really bright light in between their horns. Hence the term moon elk.
How? What position is the moon in this evening?
Well, I believe we're supposed to be seeing a full moon in about 3 nights, actually. So you should see moon elk out and about a lot more.
Now, excuse me if I'm out of place. What makes a moon albino?
Well, see, typically moon elk are silvery furred creatures with white horns. However, the albino moon elk have dark red eyes and their fur is completely white. Albino creatures typically have white fur and red eyes.
All right.
He's just looking over his friends.
Longfang desperately wants to pet one and to see those antlers, but he says nothing.
Perfect.
What time of day is it right now?
The time of day is early morning, like probably around 7 or 8 a.m.
Yeah, so I figure we'll ride for a full day, make camp, and then that'll give us enough time where the next day, by the time we hopefully find the lake, it'll be dark, so we can start looking for them.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty.
I can't believe Lockdown's riding an ox.
So exciting.
Like
Lockdown's walking next to it. He did not get on.
Lockdown, if you want, you can mirror us, but also you did fine on the trip here walking, so this ox could just be a friend, I suppose.
I pet the ox.
But you could ride him if
Are
you
you
wanted
my
to.
friend?
It lets out like a small snort.
May I ride you?
It doesn't really seem to be making any sort of other thing. It just keeps walking and lets out another little snort as it continues.
That does not sound like consent. And I just continue walking, petting it.
Right.
Very cute. All right. Is there anything you guys want to do or discuss on your journey?
Not particularly for me.
I'm sure we'll make small talk. I guess I would let people know. I mean, we've all been pretty forthcoming about, or we've been somewhat forthcoming about the little that we know about each other. I keep having, or I guess I've only had one since we woke up, but I did have a dream, and I think over time we might be having some memories come back about who we are. The dream wasn't anything in particular. I was just in a library, and I think I was studying under or working under someone, but I think, I don't know. It's weird to think that we might be coming back to ourselves little by little.
Yeah, it's starting to worry me a bit. I think I might be from Summerhaven.
Oh,
And I also think I might be the only dragon that was from there.
interesting. Maybe
So-
we could check that out when we're done here.
Yeah,
Are
that's something
not
I'm
common?
probably going to do at some point.
Honestly, it seems like, I don't know if this was why we found each other in the first place, but all of us seem to have some sort of, I mean, none of us are humans or know exactly what, like we can't trace our origins easily. If I understand correctly, Longfang, you migrated from another place. Lockdown, obviously people don't even know how to treat you in places like this. They talk to you as if you were just built for battle, and no one's ever seen someone like you, Kaithon. I don't even know what I am, so I guess that's something that binds us together.
Yeah.
If we are being forthcoming, I had a memory replay. Not much. A city destroyed. Just lots of destruction.
And that could be related to when the dragon came and wreaked havoc on the land.
I don't know.
We-
It was a climb, the fence. And Lockdown just kind of stops and like zones out for a moment. And then just starts walking again.
Okay.
I don't know. I just find it strange that I'm a red dragon and this land history is based on a red dragon. And I came from the place that I guess not worships it, but seems to believe in its existence. But I'm not there, so that doesn't make sense either, why I'm not there. I have to find out.
You guys have been having more dreams? I'm just left out of everything.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen.
I mean, I've gotten like a flash here or like a tingle there, but first, I don't find anything near me. All of you have some kind of clue. Now I don't have any dreams. How the hell is a person supposed to figure anything out?
A phrase comes to mind as I'm trying to understand all of this. Ignorance is bliss. I don't know. It's pretty.
That's good. Did you make that up?
Myself.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Zogmar, as you write that down, it sounds familiar to you. You feel like you've written it before.
I'm just gonna keep using like normal phrases, and they're fucking brilliant. And they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm reading it."
It's a clue. It's a clue to
Yeah.
learn from.
Let's get our handy dandy notebook.
It's Zogomar this entire time.
But yeah,
I don't like being ignorant.
I fully can understand that. I was just trying to help.
No, but I sorry, go ahead, Lockdown.
If it makes you feel better, what I remember is pure horror. Not good things. I mean, being activated, good. Position after, not so good.
I think as much as this is a kind of scary position to be in, it presents an opportunity for us to, yes, we're going to remember bad things from our past, but we get to build good things for our future, or at least enjoy the time that we have here. If we, I don't know, maybe forgetting some of the bad things of the past might actually help us to become better people, and we'll remember them someday, but we'll be stronger because of what we've done.
I mean, I think I'm already great, but
This is true. Longfang has taught me
Yes.
many games.
Oh, like what?
just
Bedtime games.
yeah. Wait,
You're into that kind of stuff, Lockdown.
I will show tonight.
Can't wait.
sure. Who wants to bunk with Lockdown tonight? He can show you the new game.
I just look at Kaithana and I'm like, I guess us sharing a room kind of made some magic happen, huh?
You know
Good
what?
choice.
I feel like you guys are bonding, and I don't want to take that away
Okay. Absolutely. Me and Lockdown are great buddies.
from you.
Lockdown, you hear that and you feel a little bit of a warmth inside you.
Lockdown like punches his chest. That is a weird malfunction.
Oh, good boy.
Just assumes it.
He's so sweet. Oh my god. I feel like such an asshole.
Just like a child takes completely innocent things, make it sound horrible.
All right, so who's watching out as you guys are riding along the road headed towards the forest?
I mean, I'm not good at it though.
I'm always kind of like looking
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
landscapes and stuff.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me as you go.
Use the pink die. Ooh. I rolled a 15, and I think I have a +5.
You do indeed.
30, 20.
Yeah. So you guys are like riding along the road, keeping your eyes out, looking for places to lay down and rest for the night. And as you continue, the day passes on. Starts getting later into the day. You guys have some trail rations that were prepared for you by Dalfin. And you finally, it starts to get a little bit darker. Kaithana, you and Lockdown are having a harder time seeing. Zogomar and Longfang, you don't really notice the change, except it starts getting a little bit dimmer for you. But you do manage to find a good place to set up camp.
I guess I don't have dark vision, which makes sense because I'm a dragonborn.
I think maybe I shouldn't cook.
I'll try.
We could all pitch in, or whoever wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll start setting up the tents.
Mm-hmm.
Just had some success with that before.
Okay.
I'll go collect firewood.
I will find a tree stump to beat up.
I guess I'll go look for some more water.
Gotcha. So Zogomar, go ahead and roll a survival check for me to get the camp set up.
12 plus 5, I think. 17.
12 plus 5. Gotcha. What is everyone else doing real quick? Sorry.
I'm
was
collecting
gonna-
firewood.
I was gonna go look for water.
Water and Kathana.
I'm gonna practice sparring some more.
Okay. You find a tree that's decent for practicing with your newer great sword, and so you start making swings at it. And as the bark and stuff chips off of this dead tree, Lockdown kind of walks over, picks it up, walks around, picks it up, and he's just watching you as you do this until he's like piled up some more and more firewood.
Cool.
Longfang, you do find some water that you can bring back. You've got a small jug that was included in the stuff for you guys, as well as a pot that you can fill up with water. Zogomar, you're having a hard time setting up this camp tonight for some reason. You're just having a harder time focusing on the task at hand because you keep thinking about like your memories and what everything means. And as you're kind of setting up the tents, a small crystal bead kind of falls out of one of the tents, like just like a tiny little crystal bead, nothing particularly exciting. And you kind of like pick it up, and it looks like it's probably like child's marble almost.
Mm-hmm.
And the crystal bead, you kind of turn around in your hand, and as you kind of look at it, you move your hand around it, kind of looking at the light, kind of reflecting through the crystal. You notice a green, like a soft green and a gold light kind of sparkling inside of it. And it kind of freaks you out a little bit, so you drop it. And as you do and it hits the ground, this large dome of earth wraps around you. And you are now inside of a dome made of earth. And it feels very comfortable in here.
You said it was a green and gold shimmering?
Yep, inside the crystal bead.
Was that the color that came out of my mouth?
Yes, it is.
Fuck. What? Is there like an entrance to this dome?
There
or
is.
It just so I don't know who like saw it, but I definitely am just like I like ducked immediately. Like I just hit the deck like head covered, everything.
You hear Kaithana, Lockdown, you're closer. You hear Zogomar kind of shout out in confusion.
Yeah.
I come running.
Yeah, you hear it like off in the distance. Kaithana, Lockdown, you turn around and you see this large earthen dome with a small door at the front. You don't
yeah.
see Zogomar, and Longfang, as you come up on the scene, you see them seeing it.
Logomar,
I just like poke my head out.
What? What is this?
It
So,
appears to be a tent.
yeah, funny thing. I saw this bead fall out of our stuff, so I was like, oh, I guess, you know, Dolphin like packed this or left it there. And then it turned into this, as soon as I dropped it to the ground, it turned into this sort of dome that you see here. But also, it was the same color as like the magic that I like, you know, came out of my mouth last night when I made a really bad joke. So I think this might be like mine, or at least I don't know. It seems familiar to me in a weird way.
The crystal bead broke, by the way, when you finished it.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So maybe, oh man, nope, that's metagaming. Never mind.
But I guess, I mean, I how big is the dome?
It's about a 10-foot radius, so 20 feet
Nice.
in diameter around. And you can fit quite a few people in here.
I was gonna say maybe not. So I'll ask the DM. Magic. Can I check?
Say it one more time.
I just want to know, like, how familiar am I with magic? I guess in general.
I gotcha. Since he did tell you about like the color of the magical stuff, I will go ahead and let you make an Arcana check.
Thank you.
Can I as well? Since
Does it
I
all-
think I'm magical with the water bending.
Yeah, 100%.
18.
Is that a nat 20?
It's a nat 20, baby,
Yes, good.
and it's one of my favorite dice.
With your 19, Kaithana,
Yeah.
you're kind of looking at this, and it definitely resembles magic that you feel like you've seen before, and you get the sense that you're not that impressed that Zogamar was able to do this.
Okay.
Longfang, what did you roll?
I rolled an 18.
18.
I think that's a dirty 20.
That's 23.
Oh.
And you're sitting there looking at this, and you kind of blink a couple times, and all of a sudden it kind of hits you, and you're just like, oh, it's a tiny hut.
It's a tiny hut.
Tiny hut. Tiny hut.
I didn't realize it was that spell.
Yeah, my metagaming was
Wait,
gonna be like, what?
That's an actual spell?
Yeah, it's an actual spell. Liamon's tiny hut.
It's tiny hut.
Yeah.
I guess not knowing it was a spell like made it a lot funnier to just say,
It
hey,
did. I was like, it's a tiny hut. Okay.
you rolled a 23. You know it's a tiny hut.
Yeah.
like,
Really?
like,
I really just thought that that's all I had.
yeah. And,
and-
for the rest of us, we were like, oh.
And you all feel like
my newness is showing.
you all feel like you've seen Zogamar do this before.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
not
go ahead
unusual.
and tell him, like, I think you do this a lot.
Maybe this is why you're so good at setting up camp.
Oh, I guess so. But also, it seems that the bead was necessary, and that's
Yeah,
gone
that-
now.
That's what I'm confused about. So
Can I like check the bag that or like the
Yeah.
tent area? I'm just gonna like search for more
I was
beads.
gonna see, is there any other remnants of like us in any of this shit?
Oh, it's not like stuff that you guys had like before. This was just like a small like crystal bead that was like used as a marble for children, and you assume Dalphin probably has like some kids, and one of their
Oh.
marbles got stuck in the tenting equipment as he was packing it up.
But I was able to kind of use it for something.
Yeah, it fell out. It fell out at a perfect time that you could use it.
Nice.
Okay.
Convenient.
Awesome.
You had a 20% chance of this spell triggering innately, and since you didn't have a crystal bead, I figured I'd.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, that's what I was trying to metagame, which is stopping myself, was like, is it a component?
Well, I guess if this is good for tonight, if we have food and water, let's.
Mhm.
Is it a nice night out,
uh,
DM?
It's a beautiful night out, and Lockdown kind of drops the firewood in the center.
He starts organizing it into like a stack, like a Lincoln log stack. and then puts 2 pieces of bark like a tent. I can also build house.
You're very competent. Lockdown.
You really are.
I
And I
go
hope-
give Lockdown a high five.
As you just stand there, Lockdown looks at it and goes,
That's exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be like, Zogmar, you wanna help me demonstrate?
Yes,
Huh? Ready, Lockdown?
but not
Ready?
too hard.
Not too hard. This is a friendly
Some sound.
We're-
gesture. This is another friendly thing. Ready?
We're learning slowly.
1, 2.
he just starts pushing against the hand as it makes contact. Till his arms
Okay.
fully extended.
Okay. Ow. Okay. Okay. Very close. We'll keep practicing that, okay?
Is this a new game?
It's more of a
Show of camaraderie.
yes. It's like a wordless way of saying good job.
Noted.
Let's enjoy some dinner.
Okay. I'm guessing Kaithana starts the fire.
Yeah. Okay, so question. Can I like not waste my dragon's breath on that and just do like little spits?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do.
You can determine when you use your breath weapon and when you just create a small bit of fire.
Basically a humanoid lighter.
Exactly.
Our little Zippo.
I should have named her Zipana. All right.
And the fear dragon zipped us.
I hate
All right.
all of you.
So you guys make fire. There's like some cured meats that are like packaged up in butcher's paper and in a sack that you guys can cook up. There's a few vegetables and things also available for eating. It looks like a decent amount of trail rations from what you're familiar with.
Nice.
Who's doing the cooking?
I'll try.
Okay. Go ahead and make
I
a
feel
survival
like-
check for me.
I was about to say, I feel like Longfang tries to go up and start, and like somebody stops him from burning the food again.
Can I just assist Kaithana?
Yes, you can assist Kaithana, so roll at advantage.
Aw, how kind. Which of these dice will fuck me today?
Truly.
16 is the better one.
All right, so a 16, you managed to cook up the food pretty well. It's not quite as good as the cooking that you enjoyed this morning, or Dalfin's cooking the nights previous, or Marcel's cooking the nights previous as well.
I'm just average.
Yeah, it's a decent meal, has good flavor. Considering you don't have a lot of spices at hand, you just have the meats and it's well prepared. And you guys eat throughout you guys eat your meals. No one really. Oh, actually, yeah. No one really tells a story. Had to roll something there.
I have not checked a skill that I'm possibly proficient in. It makes me sad.
Right.
I think I'm looking at the skill that you're talking about right now, and I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah. If I'm not, I mean, I just keep making questions, and I just want to
Okay.
know.
I think we all know the skill that you really want to check that you think you're proficient in.
While they eat, I'm gonna feed the horses and the ox.
Oh,
God.
there are like bags of oats that are marked
Yeah.
with like a hoof print. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I'm gonna continue to like see if I have any more innate skills that I'm unaware of.
Yeah,
in
gotcha.
combat.
Gotcha. So before we continue this, can we go ahead and out of character on the count of 3? Everyone say the skill that they think Bailey's trying to guess at.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, I'm not trying I don't think I'm doing one specifically. I'm just trying to find one.
No, I'm talking about like the one that you think you're proficient in that you really want to find out about, but you haven't had the opportunity to. 1,
Are we gonna?
2, 3. Intimidation.
Oh.
Oh.
Athletics.
Oh, athletics.
Oh,
Thinking
we were all wrong.
But all of those I haven't tried yet, so I don't know.
I don't think Lockdown could try any charisma-based checks. I don't think he knows how to talk well enough.
It'll come up
Oh,
sometime.
my charisma seems pretty high, so I might be proficient in a charisma thing. Anyway, I don't know. I want to know.
All right. So, you guys eat your meals, and it fills you up. I'm guessing Lockdown. Your also, all of you kind of remember. You have this like faint memory of. On certain nights, you would alternate out one person to watch with Lockdown. On certain nights. Just as a little thing from your past there. So what are we doing with the watches for tonight?
I can go first again.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Maybe it's not good for Longfang to wake up early. I feel like he's not a morning person.
Okay. So Kaithana and Zogamar, you guys are taking first watch?
Oh, is it enough that we can just do 2 watches?
It would be 3 watches.
Yeah, I was about to say Longfang wouldn't be that much of a jerk, but
Also, like, we possibly could just do them by ourselves because we're a little group, maybe. I don't know.
Perhaps, I mean, if it's all right, Lockdown, from what I understand, you need a little bit less rest than some of us. So we could do 2 hours, 2 hours Kaifana, 2 hours me. Or, I don't know. I have no idea, actually. I can't do math.
It would be like 3.5 hours for the first shift, 3.5 hours for the second shift, 3.5 hours for the third shift. Yeah.
So, like, the 3 of us.
It would be a total of 10 hours? 10.5 hours?
Well,
6,
actually,
7, yeah, 10.5 hours total. But everybody's getting a total of 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
technically speaking, when I'm in my restful state, I am still aware of the entire visual and auditory surroundings.
Okay.
Prance. You're a long rest.
I am completely aware of what's happening in the world.
I genuinely am still confused as a person and as a character with the math and everything. So I will do whatever anyone wants for watch. I will gladly take one shift,
So
2 shifts, whatever.
I can rest while you rest, technically, as long as nothing happens.
I'm gonna volunteer to go first because I really don't think Longfang's gonna wake up for a morning watch.
Okay.
Genuinely.
So who's taking
also-
first watch with Longfang?
We did badly together last time, so maybe I thought.
I can go.
Okay. So both of you go ahead and make your perception checks.
Do you want me to aid you? Yeah, it's great.
I got a perception, right?
Yes. Do you guys want to
No.
do together or separate?
You can roll both.
I'm good. I got a 13 plus 4. There's a 17.
Just
Okay.
do it again.
And roll again at advantage because
Advantage?
she's aiding you. Yep.
I'll take it. 18 plus 4. That's
Yep.
20.
22. Beautiful, beautiful. So as you guys are watching over
My
the
amethyst
night,
dice really love me today.
so as you guys are like watching over the camp for the night and over the vast fields around everyone. Oh, I just lost one of my dice. That's fun.
I hate that.
Just fell out of my hand. Yeah, so you guys look around and nothing's really happening around you. You don't really see anything. You see some birds flying around. You assume that they're like nighttime birds, potentially some owls and stuff. And Yeah, no, it's going quietly. If you guys want to interact or do something while you're watching for the night.
Quiet.
Dope.
I have no idea where this die went. Like, I have pulled out a flashlight and everything to try and find this
God.
thing.
You'll never see me again.
Oh, well, interesting.
So,
Just a
3 weeks
$40
from
dice
now,
set.
how you
you will
doing?
step on something.
I'm fine.
Let me check a couple things real quick. Oh, well, that's one of the dice that I need to check those things.
We love.
Give me 2 seconds, folks.
Yeah.
We'll just
Do
creatively.
you want me to
roleplay.
roll for you? Do you want me to roll a dice for you?
Create dialogue.
So
Because I don't want you to know the tables on which stuff is being rolled.
I see.
that's fair. So you've been having more dreams too?
I've had 2 total, so sure. Have you not?
And I've had like a flash here and there, but other than the first one, which didn't really tell me much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to know. I'm afraid I won't like it.
Yeah, you guys don't seem to be remembering great things. But
I mean,
can't help but feel, I don't know. I hate not knowing things, you know?
I deeply do. I just, half of me wants to know everything, and half of me wonders if it's better not to.
Okay.
Mm.
So, as you guys are discussing, and Longfang, you're kind of sitting there, kind of frustrated with the fact that you haven't really had as many memories as everyone else seems to have. You pick up this small, like, chip of what appears to be like a white rock. And you're just kind of like tossing it up and down, and you kind of mutter something under your breath as you toss it forward at the ground. And all of a sudden, yeah, so as soon as it hits the ground, you and Kaithana see what appears to be a large sphere of snowballs come flying out of the point where the rock hits, hitting into the outside of Lehman's tiny hut, cast by Zogamar, and like the snow kind of like bursts apart and falls to the ground around you.
What was that?
As she says that, and as you're staring at it, you hear a voice in your head, the same voice that you heard before. All right, class. Today we will be practicing. We're going to be practicing with snow today. I hope you are all ready. I hope you all brought some warm clothes, and we will begin shortly. And then nothing else.
I learned this.
Can you do it again?
I don't know.
Try.
So I pick up another random rock,
Mhm.
and I throw the rock.
Make an
Away
investigation
from-
check for me.
Okay, great. Oh, don't fall. That's 16. Investigation?
Yep.
So 18.
Okay. You look around and you do find another small stone. You find a couple of small stones, about 4 of them, that are the exact same shape and like stylization and type of rock that you had just thrown.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw it this time away from the hut
Mhm.
and see what happens.
Okay. You throw it. Nothing seems to happen this time. And as you're sitting there wondering why it didn't work, you remember, in this language that you remember Dalfin speaking, or what you associate with the language that you heard Dalfin speaking before, you remember the word burst forth from cold. And as you take the second stone and you kind of speak in this dialect and you toss it forward and say the words burst from cold, it hits the ground. Snowballs burst in every single direction.
That could be useful.
I'm so cool.
Literally.
Good thing you're not Zogamar, or we'd all have more headaches.
Oh, I have a question. Is the
Shoot.
hut clear, or is it like fully mud?
What do you mean?
Like the hut?
Oh, the hut? It's made of like an earthy, muddy kind of stuff. It's not like fully wet, but it's like.
I was just asking so we wouldn't be able to keep watch from inside the hut. We'd have to be outside the hut.
Yeah, you would have to be outside the hut. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
Just checking.
But as that continues, your watch comes to an end. Who's up next?
The other two.
All right, so lockdown. You watch as your friends come back inside from the outside.
quick question.
Mhm.
Could I have quietly put some of the tent lining over Zogramar?
yes, you could have. Make a stealth check for me.
All right.
Game that friends play.
11.
11. So
Plus
you're
my perceived dex of +4.
So you're 18. You manage to slowly, softly wrap the blanket around him and tuck it underneath him a little bit, so he looks like he's been kind of mummified with a blanket.
Slightly over his face, but enough so there's airflow.
Yeah.
Burrito Zogamar.
And so as you guys come in, you see Lockdown doing this, and he just turns and looks at you both.
What are you doing?
And quietly, a game friends play.
And I'll look at Long Fang and be like,
I'll explain in a minute.
the two of you should go watch now, by the way.
I have this watch.
You sure you can do it on your own, dude?
Yes.
Does that works out logistically, right? Then I'll just have the last watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
With me.
Oh, right.
Because unless I use abilities that require long rest or I'm injured.
Alrighty. So you step outside after they go inside, and as you're kind of like scanning around, looking at the immediate area, you notice some sort of white substance scattered around the ground that wasn't there when you went into the.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Wow.
Smart.
All right.
Took a lot of self-control not to say anything.
Instinctually, Lockdown's going to go over and kind of touch it.
As you touch into it, there's a slight crunching sound. And when you pull your finger back, there's an imprint of your finger in this white, cold substance.
Does he feel cold? Sorry,
He does.
Not my question to ask.
I do feel temperatures, I believe. This is weird. And I go back to the doorway.
You go back to the doorway.
I check on the animals as I make my way back.
Animals seem happy. They seem fine. Also, make a perception check for me. For your watch.
12, So 14 altogether.
Okay. Yeah. You go back, check on the animals. The animals seem fine. You make your way back to the door.
And I just stand there.
Okay. About 3.5 hours pass uneventfully. You see some like birds and stuff flying, some raccoons scurrying. Nothing particularly like exciting happens. The horses kind of kneel down and lay down to go to sleep. The ox does the same thing. And you know, based off of your conception of time, that it is time to wake up Zogomar.
I walk in and I just kind of poke him in the head. It is time to wake up. 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 It is time to...
So I wake up and I'm just like, thank you. I'll get up. And then I try to get up, but I'm so tightly tucked in that I'm just like, jeez, what's happening?
The game that friends play. And he walks out.
Yeah.
I can't.
Make a strength check for me, Zogomar.
Oh, yay. I don't know anything about this yet. I'm sure it'll be great. Oh, Jesus. I rolled an 8.
With your 7, you can't quite get out of the blankets. And you're having a hard time.
Oh my god.
Because you got tucked in very tightly and very snugly.
Lockdown. Lockdown, please.
My tail just angrily twitches because it's hearing so much noise.
Lockdown just picks up Zogomar.
As he does pick you up, the blanket like unfurls around you, and you're able to like maneuver yourself out of it.
Great.
Long Thing taught me that last night.
Oh, okay.
Shall we
That's
watch?
fine. Yes, let's watch together.
Are you both making separate perception checks, or is one of you aiding the other?
If you will aid me.
I will aid him.
Okay.
Great. Jesus, it's not great. It's not horrible, but it's a 10 plus.
Don't forget, you get it at advantage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a 10 and a 3.
Oh,
So,
beautiful, beautiful. Okay.
so 10 plus 5, 15.
Yeah. So you continue keeping watch. You see Lockdown is just kind of sitting there, looking both away. As you leave the tiny hut, you look out and you see like what appears to be traces of snow and like wet ground around the back of the tiny hut, but nowhere else.
I just like look up at the sky and kind of like assess the temperature.
It's a little bit chilly, but not cold enough for snow. And as you look up, you see some clouds, but not enough for like rainfall or snow.
Lockdown, was this here when you came out earlier?
Yes, the white crunchy things.
Yeah, it's. Oh yeah. I guess I vaguely know what it is. It's when it gets really cold outside, this stuff falls from the sky, but it hasn't been cold, so maybe there's something I don't know about the weather in this place. I guess we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Perhaps.
So many problems.
So what are you guys doing on this watch?
I think I'm like, just now that we're totally on our own without the people, I'm not like writing or anything. I'm like taking it pretty seriously and like trying to just like, especially if I see him kind of just like scanning, I'll kind of like do the same thing, maybe like in a different direction.
Cute. Okay. And your watch is rather uneventful. And before we continue onward,
Oh no.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera or not, but yeah, no, definitely not. That is a 100 on the 100 percentile die for the roll for Longfang.
Is this a good thing?
Yay!
Do I get a dream finally?
Everyone
Welcome
else
to the
is
nightmare
below the
world.
threshold. Longfang, during your sleep, everyone go ahead and take your
Yes!
earbuds off.
I'm so nervous. dog's barking.
So you fall asleep and you hear the noises next to you and stuff. And since this is a 100 on the percentile die, you get a juicy dream. That's what the 100% means. I've been waiting for a juicy dream. So this is a nightmare. First of all,
Okay.
it shows you the first thing you see is the woman from Mead's Run that you're holding in your hands, and she's sitting there gasping to life, and she's just,
You lied to us. You would protect us, you said.
and you watch as she like catches fire, and as she burns up around you, all of a sudden you're not in Mead's Run. You're not in this burnt down city. You're inside the wall, like the stone walls of what feels like a keep. And you're looking straight ahead at several guards that have crossbows pointed at you. And you feel tears running down your face. And you're wearing this like full like black clothing, and in your hands is another guard with a dagger in his chest and another one in his neck. And you look to your right as you see these two figures hop over the side of the wall, and you feel this betrayal towards them almost. And you're sitting there holding this body, tears pouring down your face, guards with the crossbows aimed and drawn on you. And you just keep saying to yourself and out loud to them, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know this was what they were planning. I'm so sorry. Please. And the guards continue with their crossbows drawn, trained on you. One of them calls out, Put him down and put your hands together behind your back. And you kind of lower the guard in your hands to the ground, and you put your hands behind your back as the guards walk up. And as they are approaching you, you see on their armor, where right over the heart where the dagger was before, you see a symbol of a dragon in almost an Ouroboros. A dragon eating its own tail. Wings back. This crimson red color with black patterns drawn, and then a gold trim around the outside of it as they approach you and put manacles upon your wrists. And you just keep saying to yourself, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And that's where we end the dream.
Oh my god.
As you wake up, gasping for air, Kaithana is woken up from your gasping and your panicking, and you're crying out how sorry you are.
Oh, thank-
Zogamar and Lockdown, you hear it from outside.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
What? Are you all right? What's going on? You were sleeping.
Lockdown's turned around, his bow staff in his hand now.
I'm like shaking.
What happened?
I had a nightmare.
What?
I think
What?
I think
What
I
was it?
killed someone.
You did? How?
I don't know. It started with the woman from the village saying that I was a liar and that I promised to protect her. And then I was in a castle and all these guards. And I had one in my hands and
What did you have? What?
I had it. I'm sorry. And I get up and I walk out.
Lockdown moves out of the doorway.
I probably go back to wherever I found the water.
you make your way back to this small pond with like a little stream trickling in and out of it.
I'll come out and I'll see Lockdown and Ogmar and just let them know Thing seemed to have had a pretty vivid nightmare, and I think he just needs a moment.
So it would not be wise to bring the animals to drink.
Just give it at least 10 minutes.
And as you guys are talking, the tiny hut kind of dissipates and crumbles to the ground.
Lockdown started a timer in his head for 10 minutes.
I was very specific on what amount of time I was.
So a few moments pass. You're all in silence. Longfang is silently sitting by the little pond.
Clean up the camp, get our
My
stuff
tail
together,
just twitching every once in a while.
pack
agitated.
pack up the animals and stuff.
And then a few more moments pass after you've gathered all the things, and a few more.
Does Longfang come back, or is he still?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna splash some water on my face. Walk back. Big smiles. Nothing's wrong.
Are you all right?
I'm great.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm not concerned about what you said. Like, I'm not worried, but it was a concerning statement, and I just want to know how
I don't
you're doing.
know. Didn't really have a lot to go on. But thank you for waking me.
Do you want to
Do you
talk about it?
do you know about some kind of symbol of a dragon eating its tail?
Do I?
As he says that,
Us?
Kaithana, Zogamar, you have this image in your head of a dragon eating its own tail with gold outline and stuff. Kaithana, you too have this exact same symbol in your mind. You can't quite tell what it's associated with immediately, but it's very familiar to you, Kaithana, and Zogamar, you have a memory of it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like something I know or would have known in my.
Oh, actually, as you think about it more, Kaithana, you remember the symbol from the book of your very first dream.
Great.
Oh, wonderful.
Did you kill my family? No, I don't know. Who knows? It seems to be something I remember from my past, but I don't know what it means. I remember it as a child, I think, seeing it.
I recognized it once or twice from something, but not as I don't have a connection to it.
Why do you ask? In what context did you see it?
The guards were wearing it when they arrested me.
I mean, so we don't know what we've done, or it seems that we were at least adventurers or heroes that came to each other and traveled before. These things that we're experiencing in our sleep are sometimes memories, but it could also be that has to do with something that we fought. It's not necessarily, sometimes we put ourselves in positions in dreams that's not a memory from our own eyes, but something that we've heard about or know that someone else did. So I don't know that it was something that you did, Long Thing, but I think that it might just be something horrible that happened.
We have poachers to find. And I
Yes.
go and get on my horse.
I just kind of look at the other two and just like, I think it'll come in time, and it might be something that happens to us as well. But having been the only one to experience something so traumatic while the rest of us are getting memories, I think we need to give him some time.
You know, Made a
Well,
big stink about not having any.
I was gonna say,
You know,
Ask me
Before-
what your
maybe I should be
experience is.
careful. I
Before they
should
rejoin.
just be careful what I wish for.
have we entertained the thought that we are the evil?
yeah.
I recall a horrible vision. Well, I assume it's horrible. A lot of destruction is bad.
Usually.
It just feels bad.
I don't think I'm evil.
I think you may now have a connection to Summerhaven like I do.
Maybe. All I know is that I wasn't alone, but I was the only one captured. I think
This
I
might
was
be-
betrayed.
A weird question, but did you get a sense of how old you are when you saw that symbol? Like, around what
Did
time
I?
of your life? Like, 'cause
Did
when
I get
looked at my hands? I could tell I was like a child.
You couldn't really tell anything from your hands or from the way things were.
No, I don't.
Listen, we've all been subjected, obviously, to someone or something that can completely wipe out any memory of who we are. Who's to say that that same entity doesn't have the power to put into our heads false visions or false dreams? I think that we need to cling on to anything we can about our past lives, but I don't see myself or any of us as evil. And even if we were at once, we're not anymore. So we shouldn't give that too much worry or thought.
Yeah, I agree. I was mentioning it last night. As much as I want to find answers, there's a part of me that almost doesn't need it or care. I don't know. It's a strange conflict that I'm internalizing.
I definitely understand where you're coming from now.
And especially
Anyways,
lockdown, heavy, long thing, less than content memories.
Zogamar nods along, having only seen like pretty positive things about his past. Just like, yeah.
I'm worried about what else might resurface.
Yeah.
His health. I don't know if I want to know.
me either.
Anyways, get on my horse.
Okay. So you guys gather up your things and pack up the horses. As they all begin making their way down the road and stuff, Dox kind of stops before following after the horses, looks at Lockdown, and kind of like almost kneels down a little bit.
This is consent. Lockdown clumsily attempts to get on. I don't think he's ever
I was gonna say,
got
is
into
it-
a saddle.
Is it-
Yeah,
You climb onto the saddle because you watched your friends do it and you kind of understood the movements from them. And the ox rises up easily. Doesn't seem to have any issue lifting your weight, despite being a 320-pound warforged.
That
And
was the question at the beginning of this, and I couldn't figure it out. So thank you.
and you begin making your way
320.
320.
Thank you.
Making
And
his way downtown.
you guys begin making your way down the road, and slowly in the distance you see the familiar edge of the trees leading into the mist-veiled forest. The mist slowly flowing down from the top, kind of drifting almost in the wind, almost looking like the clouds have come down and touched the top of this forest. And as you walk your horses into it and enter into the trees, it gets a little bit darker out as you... Give me a second.
Oh, that was me for a second. I was like, I keep hearing the cat too, and I also think it's me.
Guys, I'm big. I'm hefty.
Sorry about that. So as you guys continue making your way into the trees and it gets a little bit darker around you, it's still dimly lit and you can still see fairly far ahead of you. Zogamar and Longfang, you're not really having any issues at all making your way forward. you feel like this kind of almost magical presence around you, as if like there's a little bit of mystery and magicness to this forest, and it fills you with this feeling of wonder and excitement almost. The road kind of continues onward, but there's a path that leads northward, and you remember from what Delphin had told you that you needed to head north once you entered the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing you guys...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, random thought.
Go for
Is the same general area that we saw the footprints going towards when we woke up in the middle of the forest?
You can't really tell. It feels like a different area because like before you came from like a northern eastern direction, now you've taken a northern western direction, so you're probably a few like days north of where you were.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I was just like, mist, forest. I don't know.
I mean, it's all the same forest. Like it's a massive forest.
Yeah,
from what
we're
you
like
can
on a different side of it. Okay, cool.
You're at a different part on the same side.
Sure.
Yeah.
Big forest.
So you guys make your way northward on this path, and eventually you come to a lake. It's been about 6 hours since you entered the forest. It's been about 4 hours since you left. 4 hours before that since you left your tiny hut. And it's starting to get a little bit dark out. But as you approach the lake, you notice that the lake kind of has like a slight light coming from it. And sitting in the middle of the lake on a rock, you see what appears to be a blue humanoid playing a flute. And it's letting out this very soft music that's emanating through the trees, and the birds are kind of moving around in like an almost dance above it. And as it plays, it slowly dips into the water and disappears. And that's
Like,
where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Okay. It's
Okay.
dead. No.
Dang it! I was just about to ask to do like an Arcana perception check or something.
We'll get into those next week. But yeah, lots of memories today, including one really juicy, terrifying one.
Oh God! Be careful what you wish for, folks.
But yeah, to all the folks watching, the first episode is now up on YouTube with the proper audio quality. It is no longer out of sync with the video, so you should be able to go and check us out on YouTube at Botching Down Advantage on YouTube. And this coming Wednesday, this episode will be up on YouTube. If you're already watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit like and go ahead and punch that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you can be kept up to date on all the times that we upload this wonderful show with wonderful people. And yeah, I guess you guys will... Do you guys have anything else to say before we pop off?
Oh, gets more and more exciting.
But thank you all so much for coming out and checking us out. Once again, we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, follow us. Keep updated. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.